What's up, gang? Stephanie McCoy in the building. Everybody says you can never eat one Dorito, right? We've all heard that, right? Man, don't open a bag of Doritos, man. You can't just eat one. Well, I'm here to tell you, man. I'm here to tell you, man. There's something worse. There's something worse than Doritos, man. There's something worse than Doritos. Let me tell you, man. And it's called Sun Chips, man. You can't just eat one Sun Chip, man. And we're gonna get started early here, man. You can't just eat one Sun Chip, man. Sun Chips is addictive, man. Golly, man. Try eating one Sun Chip. I dare you. Try it. I dare you. Sun Chips are hard. Um, by the time I come back, so I'm putting the link in the chat, man. So by the time I come back, man, anybody that want to come up, I gotta go get my wife something, of course. So I'll be right back. Link is in the chat. Link is in the description box. What's up, fellas?
Not much. How you doing tonight, Ak?
Salute the EBA, man. Everything's cool, man. I'm hanging in there, man. Oh, I'm hanging, man. Yeah, there we go. Get that brightness up, man. Um, he said, "Poor chair, y'all stupid, man." Um, shit. Well, y'all messing with Wyoming, man. Leave Wyoming man alone, man. Blanco,
Hey, how you guys doing tonight?
where you from, Blanco?
I live in Arizona now, but I originally grew up in California, Central Valley. So not that far from Stockton.
Oh wow, oh wow. EBA says I'm the only one in the fam that didn't go down the welfare queen prison route. My all eight of my siblings look like the half son pirate sons we are, or half son prairie sons we are. I'm the only one who doesn't look like that though. Non sons think I'm Asian. Salute to you, EBA man.
I can't read what they said about me and watch the screen at the same time. So what did I miss?
Uh, Nothing, man. Ain't nothing, man.
MILF Mandy likes you, Wyoming man. You might get something.
25 years happily married.
What a gentleman.
Yeah, man. So let's see. I got some shit I want to show you, man. Um, I may have to show you guys that later when we get more people up here because certain things need certain interpretations. But salute to everybody that's been sending me stuff, man. I gotta I gotta do a show one day where I just do all the stuff y'all sent me, man. Dude, I just focus on that. It's a whole show for stuff sent. Um for um for stuff sent by people, man. Um we got a lot. Salute to Robin, man. Robbie, man. Oh man. So yeah, she's dropping the story. She dropped a bunch of stories on me today. Salute to you. Um Salute to Justice the Truth, man. Justice the Truth, man. Salute to him, man. Um Man, it one thing about the one thing about the sun, man, the sun shines all the time, man. You know, it's so much. Like I don't think anybody gets the more stories than we do. Would y'all agree with that? Hit one if you agree with that. That no one gets the more stories than we do.
Oh, you beat the other guys by a lot. Like I first found out that like Chaotic Truth guy, and I listened to him for a little bit, but once I found you, man, like you changed the whole view.
Oh yeah, chaotic truth is the man, man. Salute to chaotic truth, man. Very entertaining YouTuber, man. Very what do you call it? Very hard working son, man, too, man. Salute to him, man. I enjoy his content, man. I really do, man.
Yeah,
I
he's
do.
he's good, man. You let the people come up here speak. You get through more specific stories and stuff.
Yeah, I just This one right here, though, that we about to talk about is it's just one that just oh my God.
You're the Sean Hannity of Sun Times.
This one right here, though. This one, yeah, man. I thank you for that, man. I really do, man. It means a lot, man. It means a lot, man. This one though, man. Jesus Christ. Salute to. Oh, Mayo, we got the Mayo man, the monk man, in the building, man. Mayo,
What's up, gentlemen?
what's happening, Mayo?
Same old.
Mayo is one of the most popular guys on here, man. Everybody loves Mayo, man. I put Mayo on the poll 3 or 4 times, man. They're like, man, we love Mayo, man.
That's about half and half.
Yeah. let's see. Let's go. Oh shit.
By this one, she's walking, and if I get a little testy here, it's because I am upset by this one. She's walking home from getting milk, coming home for milk for her family, and she gets shot. So I would like to see some tips come in that are anonymous. I don't care how they come in. From 401 tip or some.
The Syracuse police chief wants people to come forward and help his detectives track down the gunman who killed an 11-year-old girl last night. And good evening, I'm Christy Casciano. Jeff is off tonight. The community is still in shock, but also angry. An 11-year-old girl was shot and killed while walking home from a corner store with milk for her family. Another person, a 19-year-old, also hit, is recovering at the hospital. We have team coverage for you tonight. Our Iris St. Moran talked with the girl's mother and people in the community. We begin with Andrew Donovan, live tonight where the shooting happened along Oakwood Avenue. Andrew, how close are police to making arrests in this tragedy?
Well, Christy, it's the question everyone wants an answer to. I just spoke with the police chief again. He was attending the vigil here in the neighborhood where the shooting happened. He reiterated what he said at a briefing this afternoon, not revealing too much about the investigation, which could be a signal that detectives are making progress. But the focus at today's briefing wasn't about the police work. It was a display of outrage that this tragedy happened again in Syracuse after all the talk last time, not stopping the shooting of a child caught in the middle of violence.
If someone's getting in trouble at the low levels, and I'm not talking about stealing a candy bar or food because you're hungry, I'm talking about violence at an early level. We've seen 11 and 12 and 13-year-olds with guns in their hands multiple times, and when we discuss this as police officers and investigators, we know in this room, we might not say it, but every one of us knows in this room that we're going to see this child, if he doesn't get help from other services other than the police, that this child's going to be at one end of the gun or the other. And we have seen that play out time and time again. When this child grows older, he either ends up in.
Man, Chief Mickey Mouse is a passionate guy, man. And this is the difference between having a sister and having a man as the police chief. When you got these sisters as these police chiefs, they do not want to take on the fact that it's these little fucking son teens that are fucking shooting people out here, that are driving the crime in these communities. They don't want to deal with that because that's their son. They want to mother them. They want to baby them.
In jail or the graveyard.
When I say that these aren't city problems, these are society problems, it's not to be defensive. It's to help everyone try to connect the dots within their own lives and their own communities as to how their actions or inactions may impact what happened on Oakwood Ave last night.
The 19-year-old recovering in the hospital is well enough to talk with police detectives. What police haven't said if he's being helpful or not. Live in Syracuse, Andrew Donovan, News Channel 9.
We are tired of living under hostage. that we cannot send our children outside and we cannot walk and go to the park. We cannot pay. You have to get tired of it and take back your community. Take it back.
Emotions are running high this morning as Syracuse grapples with the devastating loss of an 11-year-old girl killed in a shooting.
As police continue to investigate, the community is rallying around the 11-year-old's family.
And we're also learning more about who Brexley Torres-Ortiz was as a person and as a student. News Channel 9's Adrian Smith is joining us live from Syracuse STEM at Blodgett this morning, where Brexley was a top-notch student. Adrian, how is the school remembering her?
Nicole and Ryan, well, you heard right there, this community is grieving the loss of Brexley. Family, friends, teachers, and even students here are remembering Brexley as a wonderful student. She was a bright light and someone who will always be remembered for caring for others. She was a 6th grade student here at Blodgett, and she was even voted to be class president by all of her classmates. She was an honor roll student as well, and she was called the hall monitor of the students, always making sure that they had what they needed for their next class, always thinking of others. A model student with a strong leadership, kind and respectful, and a smile that will always be remembered. At the vigil last night, dozens of community members rallied around Brexley's family, some who were even strangers. We spoke with Brexley's principal here at Blodgett and a woman who felt compelled to pay her respects at the growing memorial on Oakwood Avenue.
She participated in all the school activities. She was in the dance club. I mean, that today was a very, very hard day for all of us.
Because it was a baby, it's the whole city lost. It ain't just these people right here. Everybody done lost with this one. And it hurt. It hurt.
At that vigil last night, one of the many attendees was Superintendent Anthony Davis of the Syracuse City School District. He declined to go on camera with us at this time. However, the district did send along a statement to News Channel 9, reading in part, quote, "Together we can create change. I vow that the Syracuse City School District will remain an active and engaged participant in this process, taking a seat at the table and contributing the resources, energy, and personnel to help come up with solutions." And many members of the community are pleading with these local leaders to make sure that these solutions come sooner rather than later, hoping a tragedy like this never happens again. Live in Syracuse, Adrian Smith, News Channel 9.
Good evening. I'm Christy Casciano. Jeff is off tonight. The Onondaga County District Attorney says he is confident police will track down the people responsible for shooting and killing 11-year-old Brexley Torres-Ortiz on the city's south side Monday. Our team coverage continues tonight. News Channel 9's Madison Moore is hearing from teachers and students mourning her death. We're going to begin with News Channel 9's Andrew Donovan. He's live where the shooting happened and has an update from the district attorney tonight. Andrew, what'd you find out?
Christy, the DA is giving us a better understanding of exactly how this incident unfolded on Monday night, that it was a group of people in or around a car that were shooting at another group of people in or around a parked car. And in the line of fire, the 11-year-old girl, which is a...
Hey, man, one thing I will say, I'm shocked by the response, man. This happens in Philly. I mean, there's 5 more shootings before the vigil. This might be small town type stuff, even though we know Syracuse is a very dark, very sunny, very violent town, but its population is relatively small compared to the other cities. What do you think about that, Mayo?
Yeah, it's pretty small, comparably. But what's the gun memorial look like?
The demographics. I mean, Syracuse is sunny, man. That whole area up there from Albany.
All the cities in New York.
All those cities are just like, people talk about New York City. New York City is probably the least sunny. Like, for real, man. Like, You start getting up to Rochester and Buffalo, man, you talking about the sun is literally shining. Wow,
And
man.
it looks like this is a new phenomenon here as far as the age of the girl.
Be land of the midnight sun, huh?
Yeah, land of the midnight sun. Hey, Johnny, you got a little bit of a delay. You got to be careful about stepping on people because I think you got a delay on your microphone. Because you come in a lot stepping on people. Just be aware of that. All right.
All right.
Thank you. Fisherman, man, what's up, Fisherman?
Just glad to be a part of the zestiest crime podcast in the country.
So hold on, why are we all zesty, man? What you talking about, man?
Oh, we got so much diversity, you know. We got Mossy's experience.
Oh,
we got
God.
Wyoming man.
Oh my God.
Every other story is a fucking cotton candy motherfucker. It seems like now for some reason.
Oh man, this is. I'm just at love. What do you know anything about Syracuse, Johnny?
All I know is there's a big orange college from there.
Yeah, I mean one of the greatest. I mean that is a fantastic school they have up there. Literally, if you look at fucking TV, like whether it be ESPN or fucking CNN, half of those people either went to Northwestern and the other half went to Syracuse. If you look at when you're watching TV, whether it's in front of the screen or behind the screen, that is a fantastic school they have up there.
The 11-year-old girl, which is, of course, the outrage that everyone's expressing on behalf of tonight. The DA says the best detectives in the state of New York are working the case, reviewing video evidence from across the city, tracking down the car in the footage, and interviewing the people who were shot at, including the 19-year-old who was hit.
I just feel very the case is going to result in an arrest sometime, probably within a week. There's more than one person involved. If you're listening to me talk to Andrew Donovan on the news tonight, now's the time to turn yourself in. Now. Because when we catch you, not if we catch you, but when we catch you, there will be no mercy shown to you.
I like that, right? You like that, right? Anglo-Saxon DA?
Sounds nice, but it's just empty words.
He talks a lot different than Mickey Mouse.
Well, Mickey Mouse is the police chief. Mickey Mouse is the passionate. Mickey Mouse just locks these guys up. This is the guy that's really responsible for keeping them locked up. Mickey Mouse can't do nothing, man, but arrest these guys. This guy said he's not playing. He said there'll be no mercy.
The district attorney says not impeding the investigation, but slowing it down, the image quality of the city police surveillance footage. The footage is useful, but he says better quality technology exists, and he hopes that one day the city will spend that kind of money on it because it does cost a lot more money. Live in Syracuse, Andrew Donovan.
So they need surveillance. They're blaming the lack of surveillance.
No, they have surveillance. They want better surveillance.
Yeah, and by the time these cameras are mass marketed, it's just like computers. They're already out of date.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but that's a lot right there, man. There's a lot going on right here, man. I mean, how much? Listen, man. What does it say about a group, man? Where if the solution, one of the solutions is to surveil them 24/7, 365.
Well, and it doesn't even work.
I mean, to just have a chance, though. Like that's the baseline. Like you ain't even in the game if you ain't got them fucking covered like Sliver Remember that movie Slipper?
Oh yeah,
Sharon Stone.
yeah. But I mean, you got to put a blue rotating light on top of the camera to draw attention to it to remind people it's there. That's how ineffective it is.
AP in the building. What's happening, man?
Hey, good evening.
What's up, AP?
Hey, good evening, guys. But once again, they're using some people to carry out their agenda: the police state, the removal of guns, and the destruction of our society. The top three, and they're accomplishing it.
But
Well,
isn't
and
it
Sheila
necessary? Go ahead.
and Sheila Jackson Lee, trying to use her to go after your First Amendment right to criticize the government
Right.
and some people.
Right. And another thing too is you can't say anything about gender. You can't say anything about who's committing the crime. You can't criticize the government when they want to jab you with poison. But and all this lights flashing, police and all this, it doesn't mean a darn thing when they capture these people and release them back on the street. So what do these guys, they rob you in front of your house camera. They don't care.
So tell me this, AP, as a young woman, where you're at, how do you feel about parents that live in places where their fucking kid or their daughter may get shot on the way to fucking school, home from school by a stray bullet, and that's common? Like, you live in a place where it's not like that, right?
Correct.
Like, do you have compassion for these people living in these jungles?
I have compassion for the children, but I don't have compassion for the mothers. You know why? Because the first child that's killed, all of them should be out in the street the same way they are out for the George Floyd types.
You're talking about not vigils, but destroying
No, I mean
things.
anger.
Anger.
Yes,
Burning
I mean
things
anger.
and shit like that.
Burning things, turning over, and they can do this. They can do this. And, all this candlelight visual stuff and GoFundMe, that's BS. That's BS.
Just call the anonymous line and give tips.
Not just no. I'm not talking about anonymous line. I'm talking about storming these senators, storming these judges' homes, the same way they doxed the police officer that shot Michael Brown, the same way they doxed George Zimmerman. Why are they not at these homes of these senators and other politicians who are passing these dumbass laws? They can look up on the internet and find these judges and everybody else and trash their house and be outside. But no, because all of these so-called protests that we've seen, they've been led by the left. And Black people, let's be honest, are nothing but a bunch of followers. That's all they are.
Well, then they already know who they are because they were the ones that voted them in.
Right. And the same way they could burn down McDonald's. Look at Atlanta, what happened, the riots and stuff. But when you have elderly people that are murdered, carjacking, and then they get on TV and oh, we have to stick together, the community. No. That's your trashy son that you don't want to turn in, your grandson. That's the reason why there's no outrage, because it's their children that's out there doing this.
Yeah, there's no victimhood in it either. Because this is predation. Black people love victimhood. So when you get shot by a cop or by a white vigilante or something, you're a victim. This is predation. What's going on? These are fucking predators running around killing a little fucking girl. And this is the thing. I'm shocked by the outrage because this is DC. The only time there've been 8 kids shot this year in DC as of the 12th or the 13th. Whenever
and
that
it also
happened.
Shows you in the community that some people do not value their children, because name another society where they will continue to allow their children to be butchered like this, because this is nothing but butchering. That's all it is. They don't love their children.
This poor little girl is nothing but a field mouse that got trampled when 2 lions were fighting.
Right. All this crap that you hear about sisterhood and brown pride, Black pride, I want to tell you, gliders, it's BS. Because one of the first things as a mother that you do, even in the animal kingdom, they protect their young. If a sister is sitting up here and she lives in a neighborhood when she's had more than one child that has been murdered by gunfire, and she's still there and she's crying on TV, she's full of shit. And I'm here to tell you that she's full of shit.
Marcy. What's up, Marcy? They were talking about you, man. What's going on, man? What's your thoughts on this, man?
I mean, it's a shame. I mean, like I'm with AP. I feel for the children who are trapped in these terrible neighborhoods, and I wish there was a way out for them because they can't fully rely on the adults who all they do is either they turn a blind eye or they actively participate in the slaughter that goes on in those neighborhoods. So
And
you know,
and
my
and,
heart
let-
goes
and
out
I
to the
and I'll
children.
say one other thing. This you have gliders. The laws that we have protecting children today have been fought for by gliders, not rich gliders, but average working class gliders who saw that there was a problem and they got together and they went to senators, they went to Congress, and these are people who work. A lot of these sisters that you see on TV, they don't even have a job. So what the hell are you doing with your time? It doesn't make any sense. But then
Quality
again,
of the city police.
when it comes time for GoFundMe, people are giving them money. If you give any of these people money, you are a fool.
Surveillance footage. The footage is useful, but he says better quality technology exists, and he hopes that one day the city will spend that kind of money on it because it does cost a lot more money. Live in Syracuse, Andrew Donovan, News Channel 9. Right now, we're going to send it to News Channel 9's Madison Moore, who's also at the scene on the other side. Madison, we hear this noise. There's a march and a church event going on in between us, people gathering balloons, but also over at the school, there's a lot of mourning there, too. And I know you've spent the last 24 hours talking to teachers and the principal. What are they saying about this girl?
In the rain.
Yeah, Andrew, as you can hear behind me, we're just right across the street from where Andrew is. They're starting to talk about Brexley, and they are actually going to do a balloon launch in just a few minutes in her honor. But I had a chance to speak with
A balloon launch, not a balloon release. Okay, I like it. Reframing it. Not a balloon release. It's a balloon launch.
one of the teachers at the lodge that knew Brexy. We spoke yesterday during the vigil, and he just described to me what a bright light she was in the school district. But he also shared just how tough these conversations are to have with his students. And unfortunately, there are many students in his class that shared and opened up about loved ones who had been the victim of gun violence themselves. And he says, they were able to share and open up about those experiences. I also had a chance to speak with the school principal, and he was at last night's vigil as well. He said it's been a difficult day, but one where his entire school community came together to lean on one another and remember Brexy for the bright, smiley, and energetic young girl she was.
Oh, she went to a STEM school. So she was the class president at a STEM school. So this was a bright young woman, man. Bright young lady, man. Wow.
The students begin to feel more open and safe to express themselves, and then they join together to prepare postcards, sign. We provide to the family today letters, collage, a lot of different things for them to show their love.
I expressed last night, I would hope to see a lot more adults out here.
A lot of those posters and cards and even shirts that were made were seen here yesterday at the vigil, and we're still seeing them around right now as we're waiting for this balloon launch. But the principal said having the grief counselors on hand yesterday was very helpful for his students and his staff. For now, live in Syracuse, Madison Moore, News Channel 9.
I want to take a moment of silence for this baby.
And what does that do?
So this is the city council, probably looks like. Very sunny, man.
And you can just feel the pain this community is feeling at this afternoon's Syracuse Common Council meeting. Lawmakers taking a moment to honor Brexy's life and her memory. Syracuse Common Council President Helen.
Yeah, what the fuck does that do?
And these are the same people fighting for no bail.
They just the only thing they know to do is just virtue signal at all times.
Yeah, it's like, golly, man, that's a lot of
My
time.
question to the sons too that live in that community: how is this not racism? How is this not racism? And racism doesn't mean like it has to be a glider doing it. It's racism from your own people because they don't seem to give a damn that your children are getting killed. How is that not a form of racism?
Yeah.
Well, it's
Maybe
genocide. It's not really racism.
I
Or
know,
at
but I'm
least,
just trying to play along. I'm
or
just
at
trying to
least
play along.
self-hatred. How
Right.
is it
I'm just
not
trying to play
self-hatred?
along though with their logic. You know, I'm just trying to play along with that logic because everything is racist. You know, if you can't say anything to them, if you expel them from school, it's racist. Well, how is it not racism that they allow your children to be murdered in the street and then they release Pookie back out the same day? It doesn't make any sense.
Looks like Aka stepped away for a minute.
It's
think it-
typical liberal logic.
I think it makes sense if you understand the nature of government overall. It's naturally wants to expand, and one way to do that is to keep the public, dumb and afraid. So you play on their fears, and you make it where they have to rely on these officials for all their solutions. When honestly that's not the case. They don't have to rely on them for their solutions. The parents possess it themselves when it comes to raising their children properly.
It's just like the shot spotter devices. The first place they're going to put facial recognition software on these cameras is in these neighborhoods.
But not only that is that this is why I say that people with common sense, you're on your own. Because on issues like this, if Republicans were for real, they could be winning just on this issue alone about crime. But they're a bunch of cowards, and they have been for the past 30 to 40 years, and they've done absolutely nothing. Right?
We know, we know that. But the thing is that even regardless of what the Republicans are saying, they're never going to win the cities. The cities are
Right.
lost.
But the thing about it is they have states in other areas. And see, this is why I say that what is going on is dangerous, because if you look at what they're doing, the Democrats are doing, they're spreading this disease in every corner of the country, whether it's the Sunman or whether it's illegal umbritos. It's the violence, the drugs. There's going to be no place for us to hide.
Yeah.
Caring, happy, extremely intelligent. That's how people who knew and loved Brexy describe her. She was involved in a program through the YWCA called Girls Inc. As News Channel 9's Callahan Marshall tells us, the director of the organization says the community lost a potential leader.
So the program was working until Pookie intervened. I mean, like, yikes, man.
Yo, I
She was
just
involved
got
in a
here.
program.
Is the person that murdered this young girl Sonny?
It was one car full of thugs and hoodlums shooting at another car full of thugs and hoodlums, and she got caught in the middle. So in Syracuse, it's probably 90%. It's either a son Brito or a son.
Who and loved Brexy describe her. She was involved in a program through the YWCA called Girls Inc. As News Channel 9's Callahan Marshall tells us, the director of the organization says the community lost a potential leader.
This smile lit up every room.
She always welcomed you with a big smile, hug, and a kiss.
Brexy Lee, known to family and friends as Brexy, was in Girls Inc., a program that prepares young girls to confront subtle societal messages and lead successful lives. Brexy also loved to dance and was involved in sports.
Community is losing a bright young mind, a girl that has a lot of potential to become a leader in our community.
Aside from obvious heartbreak is deep concern and fear.
An 11-year-old, what is going to happen tomorrow? A 7-year-old? A 5-year-old? I mean, for I don't even know why.
That happened yesterday.
Yeah, this is.
And what do I always say? It's the worst of us killing the best of us always.
Facts.
This is not one people or one person problem. This is the whole entire community problem.
Villarreal says opening our eyes, our ears, and our hearts may be very well the only way to keep this from happening again and again.
I think we need to listen. We need to listen to the teens. And it's not only the...
Fuck that. We ain't listening to them because all they want to do is ask for fucking handout, free stuff.
We need to stop listening to them.
Yeah,
listening
to the most inexperienced people in society never solves the problem.
Expecting children to solve adult issues is retarded.
And listening to the people who are doing the problem. Okay? Listening to the people, those teens in fucking Syracuse and in Louisville and in fucking Des Moines and fucking Baton Rouge and Baltimore. They're the ones
Omaha
dragging your fucking grandmother out of her fucking car and throwing her against the fucking mailbox and shit and riding off laughing.
The school program is the parents, the school, the parents, and the whole entire community that needs to come out together in order to try to figure it out so we can stop this. We cannot let more angels go to heaven.
In Syracuse, Callahan Marshall, News Channel 9.
And what if
If
members
you're
of the
interested in
community
helping-
want to round these kids who did this up and just string them out? Will they accept it as advice as well? What if there are members of the community who want to find the parents of these young, because they're teens probably who did this, and just beat the crap out of them? Would she be?
That would be
okay with that?
lynching.
Right. Yeah. I'll go with
You
that.
meant to do
Let's
that.
call it a lynching or a necktie party. We want to drag them out or drag them behind our cars for doing this and disrupting our community. Would
I like this
she be
girl.
along with that? Would she
We
be
want
along
to
with
give
that?
them
You need-
50
you need
lashes in the town square.
Right,
You
100
need-
lashes for both parents and drag the kids out who did this. Would she
You need
be
competent
okay
men to
with
do
the
that.
community? Right. Would she be okay with the community? See, all this talk about community is BS because the community members of the community, some of them do have answers. They don't want to hear that. It's just always free programs, free stuff, and we have to listen. No. We're tired of listening. It's time for action. Because too
Let
many
me
kids are
let me make a few announcements. Let's get the $5 challenge going, man. $5 challenge. Everybody, $5 challenge. Let's get that started, man. We got a great show for you guys tonight, man. Also want to say Friday, dropping my next single, man, which I really feel like is my first single because the last one was it was the first time ever doing that. So I really didn't get to put my best foot forward. This time I'm dropping a single on the 20th, Friday the 20th. Be Here or Be Square. Country music, going at it again. And then now we also got my man Ray Wall, man. He has a comment. He says, just saw the Odell incident on the plane. They treated him like a king. It's good to be a Sun man. You can force everyone off the plane, joyride in a Ferrari, steal up to $1,000 at department stores, all without getting in serious trouble. Yeah, I mean, being a Sun man is it has its privileges, man. But yeah, so Friday, dropping the single, man. Hope you guys like it, man. Put a lot of work with a lot of great people on this one, man, and I think it's gonna be. I think it's a hit. I hope it's a hit. I think it's a hit. We'll see.
They responded to the call of a shooting at around 11:30 this morning, and they found the teen in a car riddled with bullets. He died at the hospital.
Erica Ferrando spoke with neighbors who live in that area about the crime. And Erica, what did our neighbors have to say?
Well, Sharice and Katie, we're 18 days into the new year, and this most recent homicide in Central City marked the 17th murder this year, according to NOPD reports. I spoke with neighbors in Central City.
They're one a day, and this is 300,000 people, man. 350,000 people. This is not fucking million people in the city. 300,000.
Following the loss of yet another young person, they all had the same message: this needs to stop.
What y'all think about that message, man?
I think
fuck that message.
It's an old message.
Water is wet.
This needs to stop, man.
How about let's look at how it started?
I believe I can fly.
This shit is crazy, man. I mean, it's just like, really? Salute the Laughing Dog. Salute the #1 stunner, man. Laughing Dog says, hardest working unsun man I know. Oh, no, I'm a sun man, man. I'm a whole sun man. Don't get it twisted, man. Don't try to unsun man me, man. I got the DNA, man. I can't. It is what it is, man. Whoo. Salute to Nate Ways. He said, I got the COVID, Chief. Oh, man.
I hope you feel better.
You gotta tell us what your symptoms are, man. You gotta break it down for us. What's going on with your symptoms, man? Because you are vaxxed, right? Nah, Nate Ways ain't vaxxed. I would be shocked if Nate Ways was vaxxed, man.
You think Nasty Nate is vaxxed? Hell no.
I don't. But see, here's the thing: it doesn't matter. Like most of the people I know that got it are vaxxed. Like I know a ton of people. My brother-in-law, his whole family got vaxxed. I think he got 3 kids and a wife. Everybody got vaxxed and boosted, and that shit went through their house. They were all down. I mean, they were sick.
Everybody I know that got the poke, they all keep catching the shit, man. They just keep catching it for some reason.
Yep.
Well, I caught it from somebody at work who was vaxxed, and I was sick for. I had a fever for like 15 hours, and that was it. That was it.
That's not bad. That's not bad. You had a little minor strain, or maybe you got a strong immune system or something.
Well, also for about 8 months, I was using vitamin D, zinc, and vitamin C just as my normal routine.
Oh, okay. Okay. Another thing that works is elderberry, black elderberry. Is very good for your system. Black elderberry. It only comes in droppers.
Black seed oil too works well.
The thing with black seed oil, it makes you lose weight.
Yep.
You gotta be careful about black seed oil. It's very effective, but you'll drop weight like a crackhead. Georgia Swan says, "Hey, you've been loading some great clips lately. Hope to chat with you again soon." Yeah, man, Georgia, man, you're always welcome, man. Salute to we got Eric the Red. He says, challenge accepted from Chicago Sun, man. Yeah, Nate says,
Another thing that works is being healthy. People need to take care of themselves. You need to exercise. You need to run. I mean, you don't have to be like doing CrossFit or all that type of stuff, but you need to be able to, your body has to be able to withstand stress. And that's one of the benefits you get when you do have a good cardio program, a good workout. All the people who were lost from COVID, a lot of them, they were overweight, high blood pressure, diabetes. COVID is an inflammatory disease. It attacks the lungs. It causes inflammation. And one of the highest forms of inflammation is obesity, high blood pressure. That's the reason why in the people of color community, as they say, Britos, Sun people, and in the southern states, a lot of whites who are obese died. And that's the reason why it was not effective in killing off children. But now with the vaccine that people have taken, you've essentially weakened your immune system. So that's why you keep getting it over and over and over again.
Salute to Doug Chunks. So salute the blacklisted. Salute to Doug Chunks. He says, watching at high speed again, almost caught up. Salute the old school. Yeah, man. It's salute to everybody taking the $5 challenge, man. Appreciate all you guys. It's really no fucking solution, man. It's just sad that at the end of the day that they keep. I would rather these people say nothing than say this.
The homicide in Central City marked the 17th murder this year, according to NOPD reports. I spoke with neighbors in Central City following the loss of yet another young person. They all had the same message: this needs to stop.
It happens too much. every day.
Another young life lost to
This happens so much every day. Some fucking mammy screaming her blood curdling fucking anguish in a fucking car riddled with bullets and police tape everywhere. This happens every day on Martin Luther King.
Yeah,
You see that? Martin Luther King Jr.
yeah,
Boulevard.
that's typical. That's typical in the hood.
I mean, my God, man. Shit, man. This happens every day.
It's too much every day.
another young life lost to gun violence.
Our black kids killing up each other.
Wednesday in Central City. In
Salute to her, man. Salute to her.
You see how she look? That pink hair. That's a piercing. I just hate piercing people's faces. But look, you see that pink hair? She's tacky.
She too old for that.
She tacky. She the reason why these young boys acting the way they act.
Yep. And she's a prime candidate for all of them conditions.
Yep.
That exacerbate COVID.
What the hell's wrong with her hairline?
She
old. A lot. Somebody got a lot of feedback going on in the background. Nate Wade says 4:30 a.m. I was fine. 6:30 I started getting body aches. My body and head hurt so damn bad. Still have a fever, but I broke out the pain at 9:30 p.m. Okay, so he on the Nate Wade is on the downward side. He's coming out of it. That's good to know, man.
Wednesday in Central City, in broad daylight just before noon, a 19-year-old was in a car when someone started shooting, witnesses said.
People was running and ducking.
A family member told us the victim was in the car with his mother and two siblings when he was shot.
Jesus Christ.
That's terrible.
That is fucking horrible, man. They don't care who's around. Salute to David for the Cash App.
That's the anybody can get it mentality.
Exactly. That's a different from my day. That's different from my day. My day, there were more murders in my day. They haven't quite caught up to where we were in the 80s and 90s. But if you was with your goddamn mother, man, and your fucking little siblings, man, I don't know, man. I just didn't.
It was kind of off limits if you were with civilians.
Yeah, it's just like, golly.
I think a lot of the numbers now are due to the medical advances in keeping these people alive.
Oh, definitely, without a doubt.
Yeah, how many more would die in Philly if the cops just didn't throw them in the car?
Right. The scoop and run. Yeah, a lot of different tactics and whatnot. No, hold on. When I say there was more murders, there's still cities now that are catching up. Like Philadelphia is catching up. To where it's certain cities, but like most of the cities, like even New Orleans is starting to catch up. But it was there. I think by 2025, it'll be like the late 80s, 90s.
Oh yeah, surely.
But we had solved this problem. It's kind of like you never know a good thing till it's gone. As bad as Blackistan was in the 2000s and the 2010s, as bad as it was, we did not know how good we had it.
Bad, because I'm a mother of myself. Who wants to see their child get killed in front of you? In front of your face, right there.
Coming from where I'm coming from, all you see is this. All you see is drugs. And some people subjectify that and make that seem as if that's all we live for. But no.
And as the car was left with bullet holes and shattered windows, another family was left with unfathomable grief.
We don't have people we could turn to just in the community.
This 24-year-old didn't want to share his name, but says young people need positive influences and activities.
They have sports, they have parks. I mean, that's the basics to say, go out.
But who wants to go to this fucking park with a bunch of bullies and the bullies got guns? Like, this ain't the fucking bullies that's gonna give you a wedgie. These are bullies that are gonna give you a fucking shit bag.
Right. If you can have 1,000 parks, but if every one of those parks has a bully with a gun, what's the use?
Yeah, a bunch of bullies with guns.
But you got to think when we go out, what we going out and what we got to pass to get to these parks, what we got to go through to get to the few positive things that we have in the city.
They cut all the programs out for our black children.
And this deadly shooting
They
happened.
did not
as-
cut
Oh
all
my
the
God.
Did
programs
he
out for
say
your black
churn?
children.
A churn.
She
A
really
churn.
believes they've taken money away from this nonsense. She has no idea how many millions of dollars have been sunken into this foolishness.
You know why though?
Pissed
You know why,
away.
Stunner? But you know why? And I'm gonna tell you the reason why. Because it's not her fucking money. It's the tax base of New Orleans, the fucking
Right.
gliders and the fucking
Right.
rich blacks that live down there in fucking New Orleans that are paying for all this shit. She don't know nobody. She knows nobody who's got any skin in the game. So she, in her mind, yeah, they taking money away from this stuff because she, her fucking friends she play cards with, ladies at her church, none of them fucking pay $1 in taxes. They all get fucking $5,000,
I don't think
$10,000.
I don't think this woman got friends in church.
Yeah.
We have in the city.
They cut all the programs out for our black children.
And this deadly shooting happened as city council members were a mile away holding a heated meeting to discuss how to fight the crime.
If they feel as if what they can do to make a change and to better our neighborhood, then come on. I shouldn't have to ask council members or politicians or people with power to come down and, oh, we need your help. You see we need your help, just like if you had a family.
Yeah, but they know that once they fucking start helping you, it's like quicksand. There's no solution, and every time you move, you get sunk deeper in this quicksand. Those
And it
politicians,
And this is why I say send some entitlement. They have to come to him. Your people are the ones creating the problems. Why aren't you going down there? What is he doing with the whole day? I bet if we followed him on a 24-hour day, what do you think he's doing the whole day?
Drinking beer.
Eating
Hanging
pork
out.
rinds from the gas station.
Carrying a gun.
Looking for some.
Yeah, what's wrong with those things?
Arguing with his baby mama.
Yeah, talk about carrying a gun and eating pork rinds is a bad thing.
Oh, it's bad if that's all you fucking do.
And it's bad if you're him. Like
And it's bad if you're begging other people to do something for you.
Like Marcy, you gotta understand, Marcy. Like
I'm playing with you
it's
guys.
not good for these guys to be carrying.
I'm playing with you. I'm messing with you.
Okay, all right.
You know, I don't know. I ain't gonna judge this man. He might got a job.
Nah, I bet he run his damn mouth all day about shit he ain't doing nothing about.
Yeah, definitely. Salute. Caleb West says Jackson, Mississippi. The Sun kids are growing up and having kids. We got to go to Jackson today, man. It's been a while since we've been to Jackson. I think since the Deion Sanders thing, man. What's going on?
Did you have you been to Memphis lately? I haven't been out yet lately.
We did a whole show on Memphis maybe last week. It's been a while. Can
you slide through Memphis?
Yeah, we'll slide through Memphis. We gotta do Jackson and then Memphis, man. It's a lot going on.
Memphis got it on the George Floyd case going on.
Oh God, oh Lord help us.
That's just what we needed.
Yeah. So yeah, he says
Bad crumb involved too.
Oh God. Soon we'll start seeing purges. They call it Op Day. We're gonna slide over to Jackson, man. Doug Chunk says, I think a comprehensive year-by-year chart of number of people shot versus number of people killed would be very enlightening. Yeah, I mean, you got half of the city limping around and shit, man. It's fucking crazy, man.
I shouldn't have to ask council members or politicians or people with power to come down and, oh, we need your help. You see we need your help, just like if you had a family member that needed help. You're not going to wait till they say I need help. You're going to address the problem as is.
Detectives are still working to figure out a possible suspect and motive. The victim's name hasn't been released.
All right, thank you, Erica. And again, emotions.
It's very complex, and I hope that we can dust it off.
Excuse me.
No, let me tell you. No. Let me tell you.
Look.
At the end of the day,
Excuse me.
Follow a form
Excuse
of
me.
order.
Look. Excuse me.
Excuse me.
You see it there. It was at times a chaotic council meeting today, with the city council turning its focus to the spike in violent crimes in New Orleans as they try and learn what the root of the problem is and how to address it. Good evening, everyone.
They try to learn what the root of the
Why
problem.
they always want to learn the roots of the problem?
Yes.
Who cares? Lock them up.
We
Throw
know the
away
roots of the
key.
problem. We know the roots of the problem.
They Negroes. They some
Roots.
Negroes. That's
The
it.
root of the problem is Roots. Roots. The movie Roots. This is sad, man. Like, this is, remember the guy in the last clip was like, we shouldn't have to go down there. They should come to us. Well, these people went down there, and this is what you get.
Its focus to the spike in violent crimes in New Orleans as they try and learn what the root of the problem is and how to address it. Good evening, everyone, and thanks for watching. I'm Katie Moore.
And I'm Sharice Gibson. Council members are trying to learn what the root of the crime problem is and how to address it.
They sure are. And Paul Murphy was at that special meeting. He's joining us live from City Hall tonight with all the details. Paul?
Katie, Sharice, the temperature and the mood inside the city council meeting are a direct reflection of the frustration and anger many residents feel. And the city's current crime trajectory is troubling, and there are no simple solutions to the problem. In New Orleans, crime hits close to home for many. City council members heard from neighbors now demanding action.
When you got to go to the gas station with your gun in your hip, when you got to go to the grocery store with your gun in your pocket, that's a war zone. Where is...
That's a Tuesday.
That's you, Mossy? Oh, Mossy.
Well, I wouldn't be complaining about it, so I guess not really me.
Shit, Marcy, you don't live in New Orleans, man. Marcy, you gotta realize, man, you're not around real sons, man. It's different. It's a whole different vibe, man, when you're around real sons, man. Like I tell you about, like DC, them dudes are retarded, man. Baltimore, it's not like just like being around in the country where you live at, man. This is real aggressive.
Before I started watching you, I never knew how much danger I was in living in Memphis.
I mean, because you probably, like, it's also too, like, everybody not gonna die. Everybody not gonna get carjacked. Everybody not gonna get killed. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So by the cities having so many people, yeah, I could understand that, man. Like, a lot of people, you know what I'm saying? If you don't frequent certain areas, you stay away from some people in general, you probably decrease your even thought of, like, because you're not around some people. Were you around a lot of some people in Memphis?
Hell yeah.
But I mean, like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
I was, look, the exit that I got off to get to my house, nickname was Murder 8.
So you did know how much, or you just didn't,
I just didn't pay any attention.
Okay. You were just desensitized.
I guess.
You get off at Murder 8 exit. Yeah, I mean,
it's just normal then.
I didn't know it was Murder 8 till I was at work, and the inmate was like, "That's Murder 8." I'm like, "That's what y'all call it?" I'm like, "That's terrible."
It's a war zone.
Where is the facilities? Where is NOR? We need facilities like NOR. NOR changed my life as a child. We went from integration to gentrifications all on the back of miseducation. So if you want to fix crime, fix the schools.
We have gun control. We have this. We have that. Mr. Perkins. And we're doing the same old crazy, insane things over and over and over again.
The special meeting on crime comes at a time when the city is experiencing its highest murder rate since 1996. Crime analyst Jeff Asher gave an
Well, it is back to the 90s.
Overview showing aggravated assault, armed robbery, car theft, and vehicle burglaries have all seen double-digit increases year over year.
Look at these Negroes, man. Negroes, man. They don't know how to govern. They don't know how to be governed. It's hopeless.
I mean, we've seen this in Jackson, Baltimore, Mobile, It's every fucking city. There's you screaming at somebody,
We've seen
fighting.
this in Cheyenne.
It's the same thing every fucking place.
Why that woke woman was rapping? What she was talking about?
She thought she said something slick. She can't even spell half the words she used.
Miseducation of the gentrification of the simplification.
And somebody should have
Emotions ran
asked her,
high in the
ma'am,
chamber
what
as
does that mean? Somebody should have asked her, ma'am, what does that mean?
They-
Because we're confused.
They were like, shit, and then she gonna talk for another hour. Shit, you don't ask her no questions. You just let her talk and get past the mic.
Emotions ran high in the chamber as tempers flared at times in the crowd. The meeting had to be stopped several times to get the situation under control. One woman was handcuffed and others were escorted by police out of the meeting.
Whereas people saw the
Oh, God.
conflict and the raised voices today as chaos, what I saw that is a community that's in pain.
City council members proposed
No
a series
shit.
of measures to address what they called an epidemic of crime. They touched on topics such as responsible gun ownership, truancy, and juvenile curfew. City Health Director Dr. Jennifer Avegno called violent
That's the
crime
same
a public
jackass as
health
yesterday,
crisis
isn't it?
Yep.
in the city. She said the data shows murder is the fourth leading cause of death for Black men in New Orleans.
I submit that we would not tolerate any other disease
Only
that
fourth?
targeted a segment of our community.
Yeah, what the hell
so
are the other
deliberately.
three?
Diabetes,
COVID.
FEMA pork chops and diabetes.
Yeah,
Nigga moments.
they're falling out. Like I think a lot of people understand. Like when a black community, like a 60% black city, everybody's got fucking high blood pressure, hypertension, like the way they eat.
And sometimes you don't even get, like, black women don't, a lot of times black women get high blood pressure and it's not from their diet. It's just the stress of just being black.
Yeah, definitely, man. Definitely the stress.
The stress of living in a fucking battlefield.
Yeah, if you live in Baghdad, you're going to be a lot more stressed out.
Hold on. What do you mean by the stress of just being Black?
Just having shit.
The stress of being a black woman in the hood.
The stress of having people killed all the time. The stress of that kind of thing.
The
If they're not stressed, they still continue to be there, and they're not uplifting themselves to get out of that situation.
Sometimes it's hard for certain people just to be there. Like a lot of girls, they had a baby daddy or a husband that was there helping them, and guess what? He gets gunned down. He's dead. So now you're back to being a single mother with your children.
And they were raised in a household of single mother. And see, this is the thing.
Maybe some of them wasn't.
A continue on circle after circle, but yet still the birth control and all that is free and available. So how you continue to make the same mistakes generation after generation?
Look, this is how I feel about it. Humans gonna have sex, period. And the result of sex is gonna come a baby. That's just the cycle of life.
No, it's not the cycle of life. It's a cycle of irresponsibility.
Okay.
Because
And here's a question: if you live in a battlefield, why don't you move away from that battlefield?
Right. You grow up in a household, you see your mother struggling, your daddy ain't shit, and you still stay there instead of going to school and trying to do something. Or either, like you said, they're going to have sex. Okay, they have sex. But why not get an implant or use birth control? Or this guy is a piece of crap. He's not going to do anything for you. He's going to leave you on the street just like your daddy left your mother. But you're still going to go and continue that on. And we're supposed to continue to contribute to that? It doesn't make any sense.
It's an attitude of hopelessness and despair. Where if you don't see any potential, you don't see the potential of things getting better tomorrow. You feel as though you just have to live for the moment.
And that's why I say the older generation of the community, they have failed the community. They have nothing to say. They have failed their own community, and they failed the generations afterwards. Because
because they've been failed themselves. They've been failed themselves by the generation before them.
It's easy to say what people can and should have done, but if you like you said, if you come from a family that was already impoverished, okay, and then you already have a low self-esteem about yourself as a woman or a man, you go out and you sleep with somebody, you have a baby, and that person that you thought was going to be there for you, either they die or go to jail or just walk away. I mean, yeah, it's going to be tough to, they have to work hard to get out of their situation, but in the midst of their situation, they're going to still have high blood pressure because they're stressed out.
It'll cost you $3,500 to rent a U-Haul and move anywhere in the country. People got more than that wrapped up in fucking sneakers.
And I'm going to tell you something else that sounds okay, but I have to tell you, those people who are crossing the border that are coming here, believe me, a lot of them don't even speak the language. In less than a year or two, they will move up above some people who've been in that same community for a while. So that thing about that still takes a sense of personal responsibility.
How'd you receive personal responsibility?
Being responsible for your own future.
I mean, I'm saying, who taught you how to have personal responsibility?
My parents.
That's what I'm saying. A lot of people don't have that because their parents is incarcerated, they're dead.
But you should be able to learn from that.
Exactly.
They don't learn from it. They just
that's the problem.
That's what I'm saying.
They don't learn from it because it's glorified in their community. And like I said, until the welfare part is dealt with, this will continue because, like you said, they will continue to have sex. They won't get any birth control. They won't go to the doctor. They won't get any kind of health care. They won't get any kind of gynecological exams, but they'll lay up there and get pregnant that me and you and the rest of the taxpayers have to pay for, right? Along with their housing, the cafe,
I don't care about
everything else.
Me personally,
I do care because
I don't care. I mean, hold on, wait a minute. I'm saying
since 1960.
I don't care about taxpayers. I don't care about like women getting help with taxpayer dollars because my thing is our taxpayer dollars is feeding pedophiles right now as we sleep, as we talking. We're feeding.
Very true.
We're feeding a pedophile. We're feeding the rapists. We're feeding the murderers.
Right. We're feeding people.
We're giving them free cable. We're giving them free health care. We're giving them all of that.
But the pedophile is not asking for programs to help him, though. These people are. The pedophile is locked up in a controlled environment. These people are not.
Exactly. We keep him alive with our taxpayer dollars.
But the pedophile is not asking and crying on TV for help. The pedophile is not having his children being murdered out in the street. The pedophile, once again, is in a controlled environment where we can control him. He can't go out and hurt anybody else.
He shouldn't be controlled. He should be killed.
I know that, Mossy, but let's stick with the topic.
No, I brought that up.
Currently, the pedophile in prison is currently not a threat to society.
Right.
No, the reason why I brought that up is because when people see that, they think that, well, I can do all these things outside of prison and still keep my life. So the punishment, going back to the punishment is not heavy enough for that kind of behavior, which is why a lot of them act with impunity. Oxen they're predacious. They're predators. And when they decide to be predators,
if the punishment is not fitting their impunity, we can say the same thing for these women who continue to have children they know they can't afford to take care of. The punishment is not fitting for the impunity, because the thing about it is, after you have one child, it's not a mistake to keep having 2, 3, and 4 kids by different men. You know who's not going to stand there for you. And then to continue to ask the taxpayer to contribute and help you. No, there needs to be a punishment for that. I totally agree.
It's not a mistake at that point. It's a choice.
Exactly.
I agree.
I like this girl.
And these are the same women who will go out there and march for abortion rights, and who are march. If a Republican said, I'm going to cut $10 from Planned Parenthood, the liberals will get them out there mobilized and they'll be marching for that. Well, you have all these things, right? So it's no excuse.
Okay, that's fine, but what does the girl having children and she want to have her babies and live in Section 8, get food stamps,
Stop fucking.
whatever,
Wear
fine.
a condom.
Okay, I got all that.
Get your tubes
But if
tied.
it's the problem is not from her. She's not the one put on the ski mask and robbing you at the
The
gas station.
problem
No,
It's the
she
men.
had the kid that put on the
It's the
ski
men.
mask
It's
over and over again.
all women have kids. Duh.
But all women are not going out there having just sons robbing and shooting people. There's only one community, a majority that this is happening to. And you can continue to deny this all you want to. But the reason these kids are out there doing it is because they're not being raised properly. We're having to fund this, right? We're having to fund the death. We're having to fund the medical costs, because you look at it. People talk about gliders, but in rural counties of gliders, they don't have half the good hospitals that you have in the inner cities. They don't get half the access to care that some people get in the inner cities. Our best hospitals, Johns Hopkins, Stanford, all of these hospitals are in the inner city. So this crap about disparities in healthcare is bull. You can't, and they have access to Planned Parenthood. They will give you free birth control pills. They will give you free condoms. They will give you free implants, IUD device. It's no excuse. The reason these women are doing this is because they're allowed to get away with it. And we're funding it. And they're the ones producing these kids because they're not raising them properly, that's going out here robbing and killing people. And it's not right. It's not right.
For black men in New Orleans.
I submit that we would not tolerate any other disease that targeted a segment of our community so deliberately with such deadly results. And so this, from a public health perspective, should be no different.
City Councilman Oliver Thomas put a finer point on the crisis, saying crime knocks on every door, including his own.
But just in the last couple of months, my family, 57 bullets riddled car of one family member, and then burying another, a loved one, with a bullet in the head just a couple weeks ago.
And most of the crime fighting measures will be taken up for debate by various city council committees in the coming weeks. We're live at New Orleans City Hall. Paul Murphy, Eyewitness News.
There is new video tonight showing the moments after the deadly attack along the West Side Highway back in 2017.
Video shows the suspect waving fake weapons at the police who ultimately take him down. CBS 2's Dick Brennan here now with the details. Dick.
Maurice and Christine, the attacker does not deny his guilt and admits being inspired by ISIS, but his attorneys insist he was not attached to ISIS in any meaningful way. Prosecutors tell a different story, and today they showed him in action. Saifullah Saipov is seen waving two fake weapons at the end of the line in a trail of terror and death.
We got multiple casualties. This is a mass casualty situation here.
Saipov had just plowed his rental truck down 14 blocks on the West Side bike lanes, killing 8 people, many of the victims tourists riding city bikes. It was the deadliest terror attack in the city since 9/11.
Central, be advised, we have multiple people on the ground from Chambers all the way up to Houston.
In video entered into evidence at his trial, Saipov is seen running through traffic on West Street. He's heard yelling, Allahu Akbar, Arabic for God is great. He's then seen trying to evade police officers who by now are hot on his trail.
A pedestrian hit at Pier 40 between West Houston and Clarkson.
Students at nearby Stuyvesant High School and the Borough of Manhattan Community College watched from above in horror.
So we need multiple officers over here.
And then the final showdown. Saipov aims his apparent guns at police officer Ryan Nash, who opens fire on him. Wow. At his trial, Saipov does not deny his guilt. Prosecutors showed video of him entering a Home Depot to rent a truck in Passaic, New Jersey on Halloween 2017, and later leaving on his way to carry out his massacre. The truck ultimately plowed into a school bus and came to a stop. In photos shown in court, you can see the receipt for the rental vehicle on the seat. Police also found knives and the fake weapons, a pellet gun and a paintball gun.
Diversity is our strength. Thank you, Gliders, man. Thank you so much, Gliders, for this, man. For the browning of America. Aster J says, brown sugar acting like brown mammy. Oh man. That's not me. That's not me.
I
Brown
don't care. Fuck them. Probably got food stamps too. And Section 8.
Salute to Caleb West. Caleb West says, I don't know who that glider woman on the panel is. That AP's not a glider. AP's a mutt, right? AP, you're a mutt, right? Per Patel.
I'm a
You
mutt.
I just not finna I'm just not finna sit here and say, let's take away programs from people, from women and children and punish them because they're poor, because a bunch of grown ass able-bodied men is committing crimes.
But these women are helping these able-bodied men. And
How?
the thing about it is you can't equate to the same thing. If you continue to keep funding a problem, it's never going to go away.
By birthing them and getting out on the streets and shilling for them whenever they get locked up for their actual crime.
I mean, that's what mothers gonna do. They're gonna
but you're making
mothers.
excuses,
I'm not
though.
making excuses. I'm just saying that's just.
You are making excuses because in most cultures that they have a sense of shame. If that kid went out there, even if that kid even make a bad
Well, you know, the
grade,
black community don't have shame.
Yeah,
So-
AP,
Right.
that's a DNA thing, though. That's
Right.
a DNA.
That's what I'm saying. So that's what
And
I'm saying.
so-
I'm looking at it from a black. I'm not looking at other cultures. I'm saying the black community. If a black woman child is locked up, she's not gonna shame. No, she's gonna take her for her son or daughter and fight for them.
And so that is the reason why I'm saying that they can do that, but let them do that on their own dime, not on ours.
Okay, let me hey Blanco, man. Let me I got Lomingo in the back. Let me drop you down right quick. What's up, Lomingo?
Hey, AP, I don't completely disagree with you, you know what I'm saying? Like that's why I kind of I understand why abortion is a thing, you know? Like I don't completely agree with you. Like these women who are birthing these Pookie and Ray Rays and are willingly having kids by the drug dealers and niggas who ain't gonna be around. They're terrible human beings. They're terrible people. You know what I'm saying? But like it's some innate stress that come with growing up in the hood as a son person. I said in the back in the back chat, like, bro, like people who think like me, Ock, Brown Sugar, Mossy, and every other some man and some woman in here, like that shit is stressful when you see the problem, you know the solution, but everybody think you crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a certain amount of stress that come with this shit growing up in these households. Like it's certain shit to come with it. You know what I'm saying? And then like with the corner stores, like in my neighborhood and shit like that, fuck it. Like sometimes it might not be food in the crib because I forgot to go to grocery shopping. I'm gonna go get a cheesesteak platter. And that's gonna boost my blood pressure and shit exponentially. Granted, that's a cognitive choice that I made, but convenience is king. So it's like certain shit that plays in a part like that just make us have these health effects and the stress levels and all that shit. Like certain shit just come with it. You know what I'm saying? Certain shit just come with it. Especially
All
like
I heard was just excuses.
nigga, it ain't excuses. This is real. Like, bro,
That's what I'm saying. It's not
if
excuses.
you not
It's
from the
real
hood,
life.
If you're not from the hood, we're not excusing the Pookies and Ray Rays killing each other. I'm not excusing these bitches for fucking out of control and letting any
But the
nigga dump it.
community is vouching for them. Like
those
the
people,
bulk of the
listen,
community vouches for them.
Let me talk.
It's
I
the
said
cost.
let me talk. I said in the back check, we gotta make the criminal culture corny. I tell every nigga on my block who sell drugs and in my family, I tell them I'm gonna tell you if I get caught with you. What you
Man,
niggas
just
doing is
leave.
stupid.
All of that is a waste of time. You can better off just leaving, man.
Nah.
You
See,
leave. It gets a lot less stressful.
See what I did. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to move in no glider neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? I'm cool where I'm at. I bought my family crib because I believe in my heritage. I didn't want no white people living in my crib. I didn't want no white people taking over my family heritage and all that shit.
Then you get
I
what you
wanted.
get.
No, listen. I believe, like how y'all say, oh, fix your own community up instead of moving up. I got that mindset. My aunt, she live around the corner. She got a daycare. She give out food to the community and shit. So I believe in building up my own neighborhood and all that shit. That's why I didn't get when I got my good job. That's why I didn't run out to the county to be around gliders and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm trying to make a change. I'm taking care of my family and stuff right now in the house that I grew up in. Like I'm trying to make the change. I'm trying to change the culture in my household and within my
Now, what
family.
happens? Hold on, Lomingo.
Good luck.
What happens, Lomingo? If your kid, one of your kids, and I don't want to hate saying these things, but
Yeah,
you're in an area where your kids are like they're around when people are shooting.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? What if somebody in your family falls victim to the gun violence, man?
Well, you know that happened. You know, some people, you know, like hopefully my kids don't go through that. You know what I'm saying? Because you know I'm really like going to be in their lives. I'm trying to show them the
Oh,
right way. Hopefully they don't succumb to that. But you know, I lost
No.
people.
I'm talking about random shit. Like you get
That's some
carjacked
that
or a
that's the
stray
that's
bullet, shit like that.
you know, I'm covered in the blood of Christ and my mom and my grandmom, and they all pray for me. You know what I'm saying? I walk in faith. Anything can happen, bro. I could get in a car accident. Anything can happen.
No doubt, no doubt.
I just play my rear view and my side mirrors, and you know, just keep my just keep my peace with me. You know what I'm saying? Like it can happen. It can happen to anybody. I'm not saying it's gonna happen to me, but I don't
Right.
live in a constant fear. I just stay prepared for the worst and pray for the best.
Okay. Let me move along, man.
Yep.
Of the victims, 2 were Americans, 5 were from Argentina, and 1 from Belgium.
And the deadly shooting on the Strip is just one in a series of incidents in recent years.
And WVTM 13's Chip Scarborough is live.
Hold on, let me
Damn, he black.
let me go to this story that I wanted to do of tonight, man. Where the hell did I put it? Hold on. This Detroit story, man, because we covered this a couple of weeks ago, and I'm just glad that they caught the bastard, man. Oh, where is it? Here it is. Okay.
I'm just not one of them type of females that gonna sit up here, and I know a bunch of females that get food stamps and Section 8. Then they actually get this stuff and they actually work hard to take care of their children. They just need assistance. I'm not gonna sit here and say that we need to cut out welfare and food stamps, and women actually need these programs because they're poor. I'm not gonna sit up here and say nothing like that. Period.
Yeah, I think that getting rid of those programs would literally turn. I think those programs are the only thing keeping us in the first world, man.
I'm telling you, you cut off welfare and food stamps, they're gonna actually have a reason to come and rob you for real.
So we have to bribe them to act
Yes,
within a civil society.
Not exactly.
No, that's exactly it.
No,
we have to
whatever-
pay them not to commit crimes.
No, I'm on the
because guess what? That's not working either.
No,
listen.
Listen.
I'm not on the side of taking away help from people who need it. I disagree with it being under government control. I agree with charities. I agree with your family helping you out. I agree with people close to you doing that. But I'm against the government doling that kind of stuff out.
Because the government takes 90% of it for their administration fees and gives 10% to whatever the cause is, and they don't have any incentive to solve the problem because they get 90% of it to deal with whatever they want to do for administrative
and they're
costs.
not as accountable as a family member or like a local community enterprise would be if they have to give out assistance to people who need it. They can actually look at how someone's doing. After we give them this amount, if they're doing better, then we can pull back because they're showing signs they can take care of themselves. If they're wasting it, then we got to cut them off because there are other people who actually need it. I'm just like I said, I'm against it being under government control because it's compulsory.
Okay, everybody want me to be quiet. Okay, at the end of the day, all y'all text money still gonna go towards Shaniqua and Pookie and Ray Ray. So anyway,
I don't want you to be
I want
quiet.
to talk about you. I'm talking about the people in the chat.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. But yeah, that's all it is. I think people need. I receive help from friends and family. I think people could do the same. I'm just against it being done by the state. That's all.
Let me move along, man. Thank you.
And since Tracy Golden was murdered just 3 days after Christmas, it has been tireless work by Detroit Police Homicide. They actually called in the help of the ATF and FBI, and all of that hard work really paid off. We learned today that a 19-year-old was arrested for allegedly murdering Miss Golden, and the motive here, allegedly, is robbery.
It means everything to me and our family.
Surrounded by the investigators that tracked and caught his wife's accused killer.
Now look at this. These guys, this fucking scumbag walked up on this woman, immediately shot her and killed her, and took her Dodge Journey and sped off into the night. No face, just a hooded back on a grainy camera footage. These men went and beat the streets and dragged this little fucking piece of fecal matter out of whatever hole he was hiding in. The community, a normal community, would after protesting and tearing up the streets for every time one of them gets beat up or one of their criminals gets shot, a normal community would then in turn do something special for this occasion. But they don't, because Black people are not like normal people. And I think that's what Brown Sugar's saying. Like, y'all are judging a lot of these issues like you're dealing with a normal, rational, logical, reasoned group of people. Black people are
then
not like
we should
that.
have mandatory birth control and sterilization.
Yeah, well, I mean, if that's the case, then you're not compatible with first world
That's
society.
never gonna happen. We love sex. That would never happen.
Yeah, but let's talk about the sex thing, okay? Because there's about 5 days a month a woman can get pregnant.
Right.
How much fucking sperm is this bitch swimming in every day?
A lot.
To have 8 fucking kids by 7 different dudes.
Exactly. Put it on a woman. Even though a man could literally have a baby by 365 women.
No, but it's the woman's choice to get pregnant.
No shit. Men decide who gets married. Women decide who has sex.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a fact.
Exactly.
And irresponsibility shouldn't be excusable.
Again, you're talking about people who are rational. We're not talking about rational people.
Sterilization should be the word of the day.
And
it's no different than forcing somebody who is mentally deficient.
And we're falling into the trap of expecting too little of the Sun Man. Oh, well, that's just what they do. No, if we expect more from them, they will rise to the occasion. If we treat them like children, they're going to act like children.
Well, if they don't rise, then put them in prison. It's that simple.
Yeah, or kill them.
You sink or
I'm
swim.
old. I grew up in the AIDS era, and pregnancy was not the scariest thing on the block. We were scared to death of AIDS, so everybody wore a condom. Birth control pills are way cheaper. They're easier. They fucking give them away. How hard is it?
Hold on, but during that time, Black people weren't wearing condoms.
No, and that's why Black women are the #1 group of people getting AIDS in the country right now.
Yes, because the gay white men are sleeping with our down low Black men.
Oh shit! Wow.
So wouldn't that also be that your down low Black men are just sleeping with down low white men? Notice you blamed it on the white man.
Because the white man always openly gay.
What does that have to do with anything?
I'm saying it was the white man and the black man came
I
together
vehemently
and
disagree.
have AIDS. AIDS come from gay sex. It's y'all more white men are more open with it. Black men they like down low, especially in prison. And then they come back and sleep with the black women.
A lot of them like those kind of guys too.
It ain't like gangs of gay guys are chasing down black dudes and doing them. I mean, let's be honest here.
Nah, but a healthy number of them are no, but a healthy number of them are I think are deviants.
Oh, I agree. It's a deviant lifestyle.
Yeah. It's just that one. It's that one you really can't. You couldn't open like in a black community. You couldn't openly be that way without without swift punishment from members of the community. So that's what the term down low comes from.
I understand that vernacular.
Golden says some relief in the arrest of 19-year-old Bradley Thurman.
I will never have closure because my angel is not here.
Thurman, now charged with murder, being held on an unprecedented bond, $4 million cash. Detroit police.
Wow, they gave a son man a $4 million bond. Hey man, we were just talking the other week. Like you rarely see that. That's usually reserved for gliders, man. Salute, man. $4 million bonds. That dude ain't got
They
a
ain't
shot.
playing.
Yeah, he couldn't come up with that in his dreams.
He shouldn't even get that. He should just keep his ass locked up until his trial.
What's up, D? D, how are you doing, D? D? D?
Well, if it's a $4 million bond, this is Detroit,
Yeah, I'm here.
so it is 10%. So if he doesn't show up, they get $400,000 because they has to put up $400,000, right?
Yeah, he ain't got that.
Yeah, this ain't Houston.
Yeah.
Can you
So,
hear me out?
Yeah, what's going on, D? How you doing?
I'm doing good. Most of the time I agree with Brown Sugar, but I disagree with you tonight, homegirl. I
That's
can't
okay.
ride with you.
Disagree with me on what?
Because you said that it's the black women get AIDS because of white men sleeping with black men.
Okay.
And the black man coming because if we're going to take responsibility, the black woman is really the one at fault because she's the one that's deciding to engage in open sex without, protection and being promiscuous, just like it's her fault.
You don't have to be promiscuous to catch AIDS.
No, you don't have to be promiscuous, but you would have to be having unprotected sex, right?
If you're in a relationship, okay, so I'm gonna ask you this: if you in a relationship with your man, y'all been together, you tell me you gonna use a rubber every single night for years?
No.
Exactly. And you don't know what that man, who he with, right? Because you're not his left hand, right? You don't go everywhere with him. So if he go out and he cheat on you with a man, because really it's easier for a man to give a woman AIDS than it's for a woman to give a man AIDS.
Okay.
And he bring that crap back to you.
So this is really the Sun Man's fault
But
for
I'm
cheating
trying
on
to
his girl.
exactly. That's what I'm trying to say is that it's not the fault of the white man. Then it will be the fault of the black man and the black woman that decides to engage in sex with him.
Okay, I gotta ask a question.
It's tricky because you can't even see who have AIDS.
And let's be honest here. How many of these are coming from supposed married or long-term relationships? Come on.
Go ahead, let Johnny. Johnny got a question.
I gotta ask the question: what's the AIDS rate in Africa where there are no white men?
It's through the roof.
Yikes.
Well, okay, y'all upset because I said a white man slept with black men and
no.
There was a lot of interracial gay sex going on in the 80s.
No, that was your impetus for blaming it all on.
I didn't blame him on a white man.
Yeah, you did. You said that's because
are you a gay white man? Are you a gay white man?
You said it's the white man. It's the gay white man's fault. Those were your words.
Okay,
and that was wrong. That's factually wrong.
Just like, I mean, I wouldn't, just like, I mean, if anybody has to take responsibility for any actions that they have, these black men that are out here killing people, we don't want nobody to give them an excuse as to why they're killing folks. So just like it's the fault of the black man killing folks, it's the fault of the black man giving everybody AIDS.
Mm. Mm.
All right.
Wow.
Everybody just get tested, everybody. Since all black men is giving away AIDS. And I apologize to all the white men that I said
That's
y'all
not
gave
what.
AIDS.
Hold on,
So
hold on,
everybody, if you ever had
brown
sex with a
sugar.
black man, everybody make sure you get tested. And if you ever had sex with
No,
a black
brown
woman,
sugar.
get
Just because
tested.
I disagree with you,
No, I ain't
don't
talking about you,
mean.
girl. I'm just saying.
Oh, okay. Because I don't want anybody to ever think that because it's a disagreement or whatever, I'm coming against this, I'm coming against that. I'm only on the side of truth.
Mm. Okay, so let me.
Okay, they said I need to take this L and move on. What L from what? I don't care. I don't have AIDS. I don't care. I don't live around black people no more either. I don't care.
I mean, I don't like black people, and I'm one. So
I love my black people. I just hate that. I just hate that behavior.
I love black people. I hate niggas.
Yes. Where do you live, D?
I live in Texas.
Okay. Commander Nice Guy says, "Can someone text Cold Son so we can get his take on this topic?" Oh God!
Please, God, no, never.
George,
he's hanging out with Julio Jones right now. He doesn't have time for us.
Oh yeah, that's right. Julio Jones has got plenty of time on his hands now. Georgia Swan says, while some may not like what Brown Sugar is saying about welfare, she is speaking practically, and she is correct about HIV. Okay, Georgia, you want to come up and tell us why?
Thank you, Georgia. Finally.
Or you want to drop another super chat and flesh that out a little bit for us?
John Golden says some relief in the arrest of 19-year-old Bradley Thurman.
I will never have closure because my angel is not here.
Thurman, now charged with murder, being held on an unprecedented bond, $4 million cash. Detroit Police Chief James White says he was arrested on the street last Friday after careful surveillance. Detroit homicide detectives using this video from Beverage One liquor store where Tracy Golden was murdered, keying in on his distinct walk that dominoed into more evidence.
When you see someone like her,
he is pigeon-toed. Damn, they caught him because he was pigeon-toed. Wow, that's crazy.
That's ugly.
And she got a nice little shape on her too, man.
Keying in on his distinct walk that dominoed into more evidence.
When you see someone like her, she represents all of us. Innocence, just stopping at a store in our neighborhoods.
Detectives said Tuesday Thurman's motive robbery, picking Tracy at random December 28th at the store off Grand River near Outer Drive, just minutes from her house. Police found her SUV dumped a day later across town off 7 Mile near
So he killed her to ride around in her car for one day.
75 at this Family Dollar store, which Thurman is accused of robbing, then ditching that SUV.
I have no sympathy, no nothing.
His wife, on the other hand, John says, would have tried to talk sense into Thurman, but never had the chance. And
his wife was a mammy. What do y'all think about that?
They said what they said about her?
She would have tried to talk sense into him if she could speak. Like if she had a chance to talk to the robber, she would have tried to talk sense into him. But he just walked up and shot. He didn't give her a chance.
You said it makes her a mammy?
She's an older black female in the community. Of course she's a mammy.
I don't think they were talking about. I think they meant like before he put the gun to her face type of thing. Like she would try to be like a mentor to him. I hope that's what they mean.
Yeah, something like that.
I think you're pushing it a bit on that.
So you think this woman was not a mammy?
I think it's a.
I'm a mammy. Hell, she a mammy.
I won't say she's a mammy. I think it's a harsher indictment to give someone because they would try to talk sense into somebody. Not everybody's used to violence.
If they say I'm a mammy, then yeah, she's a mammy.
Okay.
but never had the chance. Ambush, shot in the stomach, dying at Sinai Grace Hospital, where she worked.
This is something that we will have to live with for the rest of our life.
She leaves behind her beloved college sweetheart, who rekindled their romance after 30 years, and a 19-year-old daughter.
My wife, to me,
daughter
left a
pretty.
legacy, and me and her daughter are going to carry it on along with the rest of our family.
We asked Chief White if this investigation was over. He said it is not over quite yet. There are still some questions about this whole situation, the timeline that they want answers to. But he also said they are very confident in the case that they have against Thurman. Reporting on Detroit's West Side, Jessica Dupnack, Fox 2 News.
Every doorbell cam, every camera, every set of eyes counts right now for them to make this case against the suspect even stronger. I'm sure they're encouraging anybody out there to call if they have any more tips.
Yeah, absolutely. And there was just such a show of support from the entire homicide department. Really, a lot of officers working this case. This one really touched the department because, as you heard the chief say, this could have been any of us running into a store after work and just senselessly killed.
As the chief said, she represents all of us, that victim. Our thoughts and prayers are with that family. Jessica Duke.
Oh man, I mean,
somebody need to go and apply at the jail that he's at right now. Handle that.
It don't work like that. He probably fought part of a gang. Those dudes in there probably will, if he, his gang probably gonna ride with him, man. I mean,
shit, he's in a family reunion right now.
Yeah, it's just no hope for this community. These people. And listen, man, God bless these people, man. God, what does it say? God loves the babies and fools.
Babies and drunks.
God protects babies and fools.
Yeah, that's why we're still around, man. That's why we haven't been eradicated, man.
Don't protect babies in this neighborhood.
Right. Let me see Jackson. We'll do Jackson, man. Jaffica, man. I ain't did Jaffica in a little while. Then we'll do Memphis, man.
Yeah, we got to go down to Gulfport sometime too. The other half of the state.
Oh yeah. It's sunny down there too. Jaffica. Let's see.
And if I sound a little rusty, y'all, I had a little cold.
Jackson City Council voted.
Oh, okay. So you don't got that sweet southern sultry voice going on.
Nah, I had a cold. Like I was sick.
Yeah. Salute to Deluxe 247, aka Cal Ripken, aka the real MVP, coming through once again, man. Clap it up for Deluxe 247.
The Jackson City Council voted to spend $300,000 to clean up litter. That vote unanimous. The city will pay a company to pick up trash along and around major streets in the city. It doesn't include interstates. Many residents in Jackson.
So, I mean,
they got a jail full of prisoners.
Jesus Christ, man.
And they paying $300,000 to pick up truck of trash.
Can't use them no more. That's like slavery now.
Yeah, and if they try to escape, you gotta kill them. And then if you do that, then everyone gets pissed off.
By the Constitution, that's legal slavery.
No, I agree.
No,
with
not
that.
anymore.
Yes, it is.
I agree it should be done, but
No, I thought they abolished it.
Nah, that was just Kanye tweeted about it and shit like that, and niggas talked about it.
No, they had a vote. Then they voted against slavery to end slavery, like within prisons.
I gotta look that up. Somebody look that up. Georgia Swan is up here, man.
Prisoners are not citizens. They're prisoners.
Somebody look it up. I don't feel like doing it. I don't.
Hold on, George. Let me let you get George.
Hey guys.
George, what's up? What's going on? What do you have to do? You said you ride with Brown Mammy on this, man. Go tell us.
Yeah.
Nice. Sambo, stop.
Yeah, I definitely don't think she's being a mammy on this. With the welfare thing, it's not great the way it is, but it would just be so much worse if you cut it off. You would really be like Brazil overnight, where there's no social safety net.
We're Brazil now in the cities.
we're not Brazil in the cities. We really are not. We're not even like a Caribbean country. So if you just cut off all welfare, it would be a disaster.
And food stamps.
You don't think that the people would be pushed to where they either have to sink or swim?
No, because they will just sink.
Yeah,
they cannot
Well, then
swim.
if somebody's gonna sink, they deserve to sink.
Yeah,
But
but
they're
then,
going to take you down with them.
yeah.
I'm telling
They're not
y'all.
going to go down alone.
I'm telling y'all, if they cut food stamps, I'm telling y'all,
They're taking the country down now.
They're gonna
Yeah,
rob
we're
you.
going
They're
down
gonna have a
regardless.
crab boil. They're gonna have a crab boil, and guess what? They're gonna
if you
rob you to get
wanted-
them crab legs.
Yeah,
They get
if
shot.
you want to correct the problem, that's where like you have abortion or getting like implanted birth control, paying people to sterilize them. We can't force people to do those things anymore. We used to force sterilization on people. We cannot do that. It's not going to be, it's not practical. It's never going to happen again.
I gotta go at Marcy again, man. Marcy says, oh, yeah, if they come at me, they'll get shit. Marcy,
yeah,
do you understand how serious it is when fucking if they take welfare, if they take welfare away, Section 8 and all this stuff, you're gonna be around Sunmen. I don't think that you've never been around before, man. You ain't just gonna be shooting them.
I
You're not
have.
just gonna be shooting.
My dad was one of them.
Right, but what I'm saying, your
We
dad
talking
was
about
not your op.
the new
No,
son
but
man.
he was your dad, not your op.
Yeah.
He was not being an op to you. He was being your dad. I'm talking about Marcy. You just shooting them is not the answer every time.
I don't want to. I hate for it. I hate for it to
Neither's
even come to that point.
continuing to feed the problem.
Yeah,
I think you could make a compromise and revise it. You don't get a home. You get a room in a barracks, and you get a mess hall where you get fed stuff. You don't get to go to the store and buy crap. You get to go eat whatever's in the mess hall.
So when they had
Turn
homes,
food
when their
stamps
homes
into
were
actual food
concentrated-
items, healthy food items.
When their homes were concentrated in one place, you had the problem contained. What happened was that they're spreading everywhere. That's why you're seeing the problem all over the place. So in Chicago, when they were all in those towers,
but that's
the
by
problem
design.
was in those places. When that was torn down and people were just given the Section 8, that's how it spread. They're going to be somewhere.
That's
If
by
you
design.
cut off, but that's just what's happening. They're not going to disappear overnight.
And it was a
You're not
good
going to have
design.
a genocide. You're not going to. You just have to be practical sometimes. You have to make choices you don't like to avoid an even worse outcome.
Hey, I look at it the same way. Whenever there's a disastrous storm, and the Dollar General or the Walgreens, they get looted. That's what I'm talking about. Because not everybody's going to fall back into doing things like that. But for those who do, even if there's a large number of them, they'd have to be dealt with in a brutal fashion. I don't like that. I don't like that reality. But that's what it is.
No,
but
what
the
I'm
people
saying,
who have power won't do that now.
yeah, and you won't do that, Marcy. You not shooting a bunch of little fucking Sun teams from Southeast DC, man. Your ass is gonna get fucking ambushed and fucking like you will get murdered, man. They do that for a living. They kill people. You ain't killed nobody. Like you dealing with dudes that kill people on the regular, not just like that's what I think that's what the blind spot. You're talking like every time your solution is to shoot them. Like you ain't no killer. These dudes are killers.
And it's a war. Like if you shoot one of them, they gonna come back and they'll shoot your house up.
Well, how did we get to this? But how did we get to this point? We got to this point because it wasn't dealt with the way it's supposed to be dealt with a long time ago.
No, but I'm just speaking about the reality. I'm not like trying to go back in the weeds again. I'm just talking about the reality.
I know.
Of the situation. Yeah,
It's a war. It's a war in the Black community, and it's always gonna keep going on and on and on. It's never gonna stop.
So let's put them back in the buildings and contain it.
But we can't do that right now. We don't have the power to do that. The people who want to do that, we don't have the power. People are not going to vote for that now. People are already, they're upset about the Derek Chauvin. They're not going to want to put Black people in jail. They're still confused, brainwashed, whatever.
Then the cities will fail.
Now.
The cities will necessarily fail, and even more Black people will die because of it.
And the brainwashed people will blame other things. I mean,
Hold
you still
on,
have people getting vaccinated. I mean, they don't care.
Mayo, do you want the city to die, like drop dead, like one of these players that got the COVID vax, or you want the city to die of like diabetes or old age or something like that?
They're dying of diabetes right now.
Right, but you what you're talking about is going to make them drop dead.
Like, no, and what nobody's saying, we're not talking about instantly ending food stamps, like just cutting them off today.
Good. Thank God.
It's got to be phased.
You're talking about weaning them off.
Yes. Nobody's talking about just ending it today and fuck them, let them starve.
Okay.
You know, start by taking their food stamp money and deducting the 3 meals a day these kids are getting at school.
Okay, wait a minute.
And reward them for working.
Wait a minute. You want to stop feeding children?
No, they're already being fed.
Okay, you want to stop feeding children?
Do you know what SNAP stands for? Do you know what SNAP stands
I'm not
for?
stupid. I know what the fuck SNAP stand for.
Okay, what does supplemental mean?
Well, so it's food. You buying some food, but my thing is,
but it's supposed to be a supplement to the family's income. It's not supposed to be their food budget.
But it is
they're accustomed to something, and they won't want it taken away. So you have to just eliminate the demand. You have to focus on getting them abortions, sterilization, fewer kids, stuff like that. If you take away the food stamps, even now with inflation, people are getting mad.
I'm not even saying take away the food stamps. Let's do it like WIC.
I hope none of y'all ever lose y'all job. I hope none of y'all never get so sick y'all can't work no more. And
they're done that.
And I hope none of y'all children and grandchildren don't fall into the same situation.
Yeah, but it's supposed to be a crutch, not a fucking wheelchair to ride through life for generations.
Some people just get them. I don't see no wrong people getting food stamps. It's the people that's committing the crime. Y'all need to focus on the criminals.
I guarantee the guy that killed that woman in Detroit, I guarantee he slept in a Section 8 fucking house that night in some single fucking mom's apartment.
Laying up on some bitch's couch all day.
Eating her fucking food stamp food.
Yeah.
Let me
guaranteed.
Let me just read these super chats right quick. Commander Nice Guy says, "What would Trump say about this son violence? There's a lot of bad babies out there. They are not sending us their best." Then he says, "SNAP equals sons never admit problems." Oh shit, man.
Hope Phyllis told me to go to hell.
Oh my God.
Your grandma in hell burning right now, bitch.
Damn.
Come on, Brown
All
Sugar.
right. You know, that'll know. Let's move along. Let's move along, man.
Vote unanimous.
No, because I'm getting irritated.
Okay, man. Let me move along.
Y'all want to cut food stamps off like the people buying crab legs and steak is going around shooting at the white
Jackson City
people.
Council.
They just want to eat.
The problem is they shouldn't be able to get no damn crab legs and shit.
Yeah, I hate that. I hate when I see them
Why
crab legs and shrimp.
Why do people care so much?
Because I can't. Because of crab legs.
Because y'all getting
It's our fucking money. That's why we ain't eating fucking steak. We ain't eating crab legs.
I think
Brown Sugar, you keep saying okay to some really dumb shit, and it's not okay.
I say okay anyway, because this is how we talk. Okay?
Speak for yourself. I've got good ranchers. I get steak delivered to me, so I can just cook it all the time.
Omaha.
Okay, you fancy.
Let me
That's good ranchers.
Yeah,
You fancy, you paying for your own food.
He's a Johnny.
That
Johnny's a
sound in the
commercial.
hood. They say y'all jealous.
Let me move along, man. Let's see what's going on in
The
Jackson,
Jackson City Council voted.
so we can get to these other cities, man.
The Jackson City Council voted to spend $300,000 to clean up litter. That vote unanimous. The city will pay a company to pick up trash along and around major streets in the city. It doesn't include interstates. Many residents in Jackson are wondering why it's taken so long to clean up the city.
Have you looked at our city? That's not a why. Have you really looked at us? I'm 65 years old. I've been here just that long. This has changed totally.
Between illegal dumping on streets and litter all over the place, especially after you cut a right of way, you can see the amount of paper and debris that has been stacked up and thrown on the side of the road. It's a big problem.
Councilman Banks worries that.
Wow. I mean, this to me, I always think litter is the telltale sign that you got too many sons. Like always tell y'all about the apartment building I lived in. It was working class blacks and gliders, and the one I lived in, what I was talking about last week, right around the corner from the Spice Ladies store, and once they made that law in DC where you had to make a certain amount of units in every building, market rate rent. So basically, like people in there, you could pay $1,000 for a 2-bedroom, while everybody else is paying $25 for a 1-bedroom. And these people started coming to that building. The first thing you noticed, besides the smell of weed, the overpowering smell of weed everywhere, and the loudness, was trash. They just bring fucking trash. And I think that that's a Sun thing, because we would not make all these products. Like, we wouldn't have a bag of chips. There would be nothing that wasn't natural, nothing that didn't grow out of the earth or just wasn't there. We wouldn't, produce anything like a bag or a styrofoam cup or a fucking tire. We wouldn't make nothing like that. Manufacturers.
And even if you go to the African villages where they don't have that stuff, the natural stuff is just thrown on the streets too. So it biodegrades, but it's still there.
It biodegrades. Exactly. That's a great point. It biodegrades. So we don't understand we're dealing with stuff our brains can't really compute.
The trash problem will just come back if littering and illegal dumping laws aren't enforced after the cleanup.
It's just gonna be the same shit. Jafrica, man. Fucking Jafrica, man. Jafrica's never gonna fucking change, man. Let's see what else is going on. Jesus Christ.
Happened on Cedarhurst Road, that's in Northeast Jackson. About 50 customers are affected. One man who had no water in his home says he already has a backup plan in place for days like this.
Another water main break disrupting service for dozens of people in North Jackson. A 5-member crew spent Wednesday on Cedarhurst Road working to replace a 10-inch line that burst overnight. The broken pipe left 50 customers under a boil water notice. Galen Still says he has no water to boil.
Well, when I woke up, it was off. Then later on, we got a text from the water company saying that it should be back on soon, but it hasn't came back on yet.
Still says.
Now look at this fucking hole. That's not cheap to dig that fucking hole, man. It's very expensive to dig that hole, and this city doesn't have a tax base because it's Jafrica is 84% Sun. They don't have the tax dollars to keep digging holes like this. And these holes like this need to be dug every other day because this shit happens every other fucking day down there.
Water. Hey, product in Cook County's in the back, man.
Yeah, I'm trying to get him up. I gotta bring somebody off. I gotta drop somebody to get him up. Okay, he's good now. What's going on, man? What's up, product?
What's up, bro? What's up?
What's up, Cook County?
I was just chilling in back chat. I was just talking to him in there because I think you had said something to Mossy, pertaining to just like him like shooting at some summon or whatever.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, whether it's like they're trying to kill you, whatever. I was like, man, I don't think I'd have that issue. Not me at least.
What do you mean, having to shoot them?
No, if I had to, I don't think I'd have that issue.
Oh yeah, you would. But all I'm saying is like,
Nah.
all I'm saying is that like it's not that easy. It's not flippant. Like you gotta fucking murder a fucking savage.
I don't see the problem.
No, I'm not saying it's a problem. I'm telling you gotta do it.
Yeah,
It's like me saying, you know what? It's like me saying, yeah, I'm gonna fuck Kim Kardashian now that she's single. I actually have to go fucking do that. You know what I'm saying?
I had to ask myself that question before I even picked up a gun. So it's already made up in my mind that if it came down to it, then that's what it is.
Question.
Okay.
Yeah, like I'm saying, if it's coming down to it, I might have to do it, bro. Look, and like, I'm not trying to sound like no badass or nothing like this. I was just texting them and chat about this, bro. Look, I've had a gun pointed in my face twice. Just 2 years ago, while door dashing,
Who did it? Who did
at
it?
gunpoint.
Who did
think? The third time I had one was when I got robbed down at Hyde Park, which that shit was not cool at all. I was telling him, like, I mean, I felt like a bitch, bro. You know, I mean, I knew where I was at. I was making money the whole night and everything, but you know, I got robbed. You know, I thankfully, I don't know, I just didn't really give a fuck. I texted DoorDash about it. You know, they had me complete the order. It gave me an extra 100 for doing it still, but fucking nah. I mean, yeah, when I got robbed, I went inside the security actually to the apartment building I was delivering to. Didn't do shit about it.
Wow.
Just told me, oh, we'll check the cameras. I'm saying, like, that shit makes me feel like a bitch. And to be
you don't
honest
like
with you,
that feeling.
I don't. And that, you know, I'm gonna tell you this, look, I'm a proud Eagle Scout. All right. You know, I do have some principles I live by and everything. I do thank my parents and especially my mother and my dad a lot for a lot of things. Cause everyone does say I'm a dad's son, and my dad did have, you know, a lot of not against people he loved, but he was slightly a loose screw. I think my family and like the stuff they put me in and everything, because I think sometimes I would have ended up the same way. You know, if it wasn't for people that gave a shit about me or just like the threat of going to jail, honestly, I hope I find that motherfucker sometimes. I'll do it. I'll admit it right on it. I'll do it. Like, I didn't have I was 18, bro, when I got robbed. I honestly, if I was able to see him again, bro, I'm not gonna get too graphic. Look, I don't want anyone to think of me a certain way, but just know I'll do it. I don't care. I'll do it.
Okay.
Yeah,
I believe you. I believe you.
You want to see the inner Umbrito come out? It's right there. I'm doing the most cruelest way too.
I got a food stamp question.
Go ahead.
To the person that said they get their steaks ordered. Who was that?
Johnny.
If somebody was able to order those same steaks off their EBT card and give it to you, will you accept it?
I order my own steaks.
Okay, but if somebody was able to order those same steaks off their EBT card and give you the steaks, would you accept the steaks?
Don't lie, Johnny.
I don't know why anybody would do that. They did send me an extra order.
See,
they did send me an extra order
y'all
by
ain't there
accident.
against the food stamps. Okay? All right.
I could put it like this: he could take it because he paid for it.
At least he'd be getting something out of it.
Bro, that made sense.
Well, in December they sent me a double order, so I would have accepted it if I had been home to get it, but I wasn't home, so it had sat out for a while. So I didn't get to keep that because it was sitting out.
Actually, Brown Sugar, that is the most fair thing the person with the EBT card could do.
Salute to Doug Chunks, man. Doug Chunks says the problem is welfare programs are now making people very comfortable. Comfortable people aren't motivated to improve their situation. We should help people, but not create a lethargic lifestyle yeah, I mean that's pretty much the crux of the issue. But I just don't see a way out of it, man, because you're gonna have sun teens starving. I mean,
Well,
they're
make
now
them
they're good.
make them if they want to have the food stamps, they have to go and put in so many hours of community service in order to get the
Oh
food stamps.
fuck! Look, that
Man,
ain't
they're
gonna
not gonna
work.
be able to do that
Yeah,
shit,
that ain't
bro.
gonna work, man. That ain't gonna work.
Are you saying some teams will basically sink because they can't provide for themselves?
Hey,
Sun teens will definitely sink.
real quick, look, not even the flex about it. I do have my card. I am a real Eagle Scout, and I'll say this because these Sun teams would they be able to gather and organize a whole group of people and get 6 months worth of food for a church for families that are in need?
No.
Because that's some shit I did for
Oh
this. I don't
wow.
think they'd be able to do that.
No way. No way in the world. Your future president says the way to handle this situation is to set a date like 2025. If you have more than 3 children on welfare, the government will not cover their expenses. Um,
And in 2026, you cut that down to 2.
mm,
And then you make it to where you only get it for 3 years no matter what.
mm, mm,
Bring
mm.
back government cheese.
Because, man, every McDonald's I see has help wanted signs in front of it.
I got
Every fucking one.
and they're paying $15 an hour. I got 2 people
Yeah.
in the back. Let me
I got
drop.
something to say.
Let me drop a couple of you guys. Let me drop you, Wyoming man. Let me drop you, Lomingo, right quick, so I can bring these 2 guys up. Go ahead, D.
Hey,
I was
what's
gonna
happening,
say
Doc?
Yeah.
Let's see. Go on.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say that there's women that raise their children to know what to do with the system. Like when one's getting ready to turn 18, have another one so that you can suck and stay on the system longer.
Mm-hmm.
Like they literally are teaching their
Yeah.
children this.
Yeah, they know that they're milking it. Yeah, they know how to do it. And then the kid is nothing but a check. So the kid is not something that you really wanted or love. The kid, is annoying. The kid is an inconvenience at the things it needs. Now it's good for the check, but the fact that like now this motherfucker got a personality and he got wants. He want to be driven to practice.
Well, and this is also coming from, and people are covering for them, saying they can't tell when they're gonna get pregnant, and these bitches purposely have kids at time intervals.
Yeah, man, it is what it is, man. But let's get back to Jackson.
Hey, real quick, and everybody else in here. My apologies if I got a little too loud or if I cut anyone off. It's just I get a little worked up about that. I apologize if I did.
Hey
cut
man,
anyone off.
we just want to make sure that guy who robbed you a few years ago, we hope that he never runs into you, man. That's
Yeah,
all we can do.
I mean, like someone said, he's most likely already dead. But I mean, that's some shit I haven't even told like my dad or my mom. Or I mean,
Oh, bro, I hope you get satisfaction. I hope you get satisfaction for that.
My mom knows about that I never told her exactly what it was. I told her I'd tell her when I'm like 35. But if I told my dad right now, he'd want to do something. So
Some water outages are frustrating.
Very, especially when you have kids, then you have to bathe, go to work, brush your teeth. But luckily, we have a tank of water, so I'm using that to flush my toilets for now. I just came back from the store to get extra water.
The inconvenience that Jackson citizens have
Oh my
got to deal.
God. I'm sorry, God.
How about you volunteer to help them dig the hole they need to in order to get to the water source?
Brown
wait.
sugar.
No smash on that one.
Are you
No
smashing
smash
that
on
one?
that.
6 days a
Hell
week,
no.
twice on Sunday.
Dude look like
I
a
want
character
I
from
want to
Fat
smash
Albert.
that if he got $50,000 in stamps. I want to touch that with a 10-foot pole.
Yeah, cold. Yeah, cold as ice.
Do it for the
The
culture.
inconvenience that Jackson citizens have got to deal with. We don't have reliable drinking water.
Albert Wilson owns and operates Genesis and Light Center for Youth in the neighborhood. Wilson, who's run for mayor and city council in the past, says he doesn't believe the third-party administrator is making much of a difference.
Paying water bills these days, but we're not getting any water. We're not getting any reliable water, not getting any drinking water. And solution simply would be, if you ain't fixing it right now, stop charging us.
Steele says as soon as the water comes back on, he plans to fill up his 350-gallon tank to be ready for the next time the water goes out.
These are the issues. Well, at least he's dealing with the future. At least he's a future-thinking son.
For the last 6 months, just about every other week, is something wrong with the water.
Yeah, I mean,
it's because he has a little bit of glider in him that he's more forward thinking.
Oh, and doesn't that guy who runs the program that takes the tax dollars realize he's part of the problem?
Hey, I want to jump in on one thing here. I agree with basically Thomas Sowell's viewpoint on how welfare actually hurts people, hurts their mindset, hurts their spirit. Keep them on the sidelines and feeling, you're not doing nothing, you're just kind of existing, and get into trouble, and it just sets up a whole bad culture. I agree with that, but I will throw this in as another angle. Food stamps goes to grocery stores. I talked to grocery store managers, said they'd have to shut down a whole bunch of their stores if they couldn't collect the food stamps, because it's a lot of their profits.
Yeah.
Same way.
Oh well.
Section 8 supports landlords, little landlords and big landlords. So it's a big part of capitalism. It's a big part of.
That's not capitalism, though. That's not a free. That is not a free exercise of money.
That's communism. That's communism.
Exactly.
Okay. Well, what are the way it worked? The way it worked in the 20th century was all the money went for the World War II and the Cold War, and all that money filtered through the Pentagon and came out in programs that way, and that ton of government spending actually supported it. So now, after the Cold War after the Cold War, the Soviet Union is over with, that there's less jobs coming out of the Pentagon, basically.
You talking about?
Oh no, they sent all those factory jobs overseas with NAFTA.
That too.
We were still making shoes in Maine.
Yeah, I think I thought Nixon went to China to sit down and have egg foo young with Chairman Mao, so to make peace or something. It was so they could get ready to send corporations over there, get them to invest, and China wouldn't confiscate the factories. So Nixon and Bush, as a matter of fact, and Kissinger went over there, sat down with and kind of set the ball rolling. But it took decades for it to really start happening under Reagan and then Bush and then Clinton for that that flow to really get going and get rid of all the jobs here. But corporations, the corporate CEOs, they said, well, we can't move our factories. They told Wall Street investors, we can't move our factories over there, because if we do, we set up, pour in money, and the communists will just take it. So they had to set up all those agreements first. But that's about all I got to say on that.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's another level of the game.
Keynesian sucks ass.
And how many jobs would we have open right now if it wasn't for all the illegals?
That's true too. Yeah.
Whose jobs are they taking? They're not taking my job. I'm a skilled laborer.
Right. All the low hanging fruit jobs.
Yep.
Wow.
Yep.
And they wanted to keep wages down, and they want to keep wages flat, and wages used to go up with demand for more employees. The wages would keep climbing, and instead of wages going up with prices and everything, they just they used to have
we'd have robots picking our food if we didn't have Mexico.
I had friends who used to I had a friend who got 7 jobs in one day, and he got them all stoned. He worked place for an hour, quit, walked down the street, got another, that kind of thing. It was easy to get a job, say throughout the 70s, maybe not all the 70s, but it was quite often really easy to get a job. And, you didn't have to go hunting everywhere for it and celebrate if somebody finally hired you. It was really easy. But they got rid of all those, they got rid of the unions. So, and that was middle class. I met a guy in Detroit who was pulling in 70,000, and that would have been back in 1976. 70,000 auto workers with overtime. You know, a lot of overtime.
The paper mill in the town I graduated high school in paid summer workers $23 an hour to sweep up scraps under their big paper machines.
Right.
At 18 fucking years old.
Wow.
Right. So
and
they
that's in
wanted
87.
Well,
in
Capitol
in
Police Chief.
87, $23 an hour is more like $50 an hour now.
These guys literally paid for their 4-year college educations by working in the mill all summer.
Yeah.
Yeah. They've kept wages flat. So they kept wages flat, but it gave the U.S. the power of being, you know, the global financial powerhouse in the world. But in order to do that, we became an import country. It's complicated, but that's kind of how it works.
No, it sucks.
And now
fast.
they just print.
That's what it is.
And now they just print money, reducing the value of the dollar.
Yeah.
Yeah, all
but
federal spending is printed, and all taxes are just deleted. It's hard to understand. It's harder to explain, but it's really that simple. It's just like movie tickets. They print out the movie tickets and they cut them in half and throw them away. They don't mean shit to the movie theater.
That's not hard to
So,
understand.
That's why you gotta sneak in it.
Yeah, I mean, China creates their RMB the same way. They print their RMB. If they take taxes, it just gets deleted.
Wow. Let me move along. I think you getting.
I'm going to shut up now.
No. You're just getting into a level of the game that's very deep. You know what I'm saying? And it's like,
yeah. Let's get back to crime.
No. It's very interesting though, man. Like, cause like, I'm following you, but some of the things I'm like, wow, we're really fucked. Yeah, we're screwed, man.
Well, Capitol Police Chief Bo Luckey says they're making headway on this investigation. Now, he, along with other people in the Fondren area, are disturbed with this video. Anyone that spends time here in this downtown Fondren area says that Swallophonic is a staple in the community.
You're taken away from hardworking people. Here you have a business owner who is trying to survive, trying to make a living.
Clothes off the rack, boxes of shoes, and even a cash register, all stolen from Swallophonic in a matter of minutes.
It's just one of the most grotesque things you can do as a person, is just take something that somebody's worked so hard for.
The retail store shared this shocking surveillance video with us. The break-in happened early Tuesday around 2:45 a.m. You can see.
Yeah, but if you know you live around Sons in Jackson, that glass window you need one of those things you pull down in the front of the store, those gates. You can't you can't. This is too easy. This is disrespectful. This is disrespectful to have this just a door lock with a lock on it in a glass window, because they would have broke this glass if they couldn't get in this door.
Still demoralizing.
Kindergarten could have broken there.
Yeah, this is disrespectful. Like you live in you have a business in Jaffrica. They call the place Jaffrica. You gotta these people, if they had fucking busted a hole through the fucking wall with a goddamn stick of dynamite, fine. But you just fucking get a fucking bolt cutter or pick the lock in the front or throw a brick through the window and you're in there.
If it is indeed Jafrica, does that mean it would take colonizers to civilize it?
No, I think that colonizers have not civilized Africa. There's no hope. Have you been to Africa lately?
The problem with colonizers is they left too early.
But they still would have never. They would have just been treading water. They would have never. The people would have never been able to take the baton.
Yeah, you really should do a show like on South Africa one day, like where they were and where they are right now.
Yeah, because it worked.
No, it didn't work. It was a glider nation. South
Yeah,
Africa
it failed. It completely failed. Passing the baton, and the baton just flew into the ether.
No, but I mean, it was working under the colonization
Yeah,
system.
but I'm saying as soon as any semblance of power slips, it's gone.
How long do you think it would take for it to for it to get to the point where they can just pass it off.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure
never.
it would take a long.
Thousands of years.
Yeah, never.
Yeah,
I
okay,
think never.
okay.
I think
I mean,
never.
okay. I mean, I understand that. I'm just saying it can be done, but it's a long term plan.
How can it
Thousands
be done
of
if
years
it
on
takes
a what
1,000
if?
years? Hold on, Tommy. You're telling me 1,000 years. Whoever colonizes the country, that kingdom is no kingdoms last thousands of years. So you would need a kingdom that lasted thousands of years to colonize
Yeah,
Africa.
that's what I'm saying. It's all on a fairy tale what if.
Yeah.
The retail store shared this shocking surveillance video with us. The break-in happened early Tuesday around 2:45 a.m. You can see 3 thieves going in and out of the doors with what Swellophonic says was $8,700 worth of merchandise.
So I know most of the owners. I know Shaney, and my heart just goes out to him because I know how
He's
hard
so
of a worker he
zesty.
is, and I know that the things that he gets into the store are unique, and it's just disappointing.
Tonight, police in the store are looking for this SUV, which was caught on surveillance video by another.
Which was stolen and probably ditched in a fucking parking lot somewhere and fucking set on fire.
Police in the store are looking for this SUV, which was caught on surveillance video by another nearby store.
And I know people are having a hard time in life, but there's always another alternative.
Like
You know,
what? Food
it-
stamps. I just playing.
It just took me a second to realize that was his voice.
Yeah,
You're not fully clean unless you're zestfully clean.
He's very zesty. And make me
And
mad because I know he could be fine, but he just destroyed.
Hey,
I don't
you
know.
don't want to get them AIDS.
All right, if you had to
Yeah,
pick
I know his
between
boyfriend
between
white.
him
You're
and
right.
the other dude earlier, you picking this one?
I'm pick the other dude.
You pick the other dude.
Yeah, I'm
Baloo.
picking Porky Pig over
Yeah,
him.
Picking Bubba.
Then
Yeah.
to break into someone's business and cause them harm in that way.
Hours after the crime, Capitol Police Chief Bo Lucky attended a community safety meeting in Fondren. We asked,
Look at the community.
Why is there no black people here?
This city is 84% son. Look at the community safety meeting.
It's never any some people at these meetings.
Because it
Well,
takes forward thinking to have community safety.
Well, they were yelling at the in New Orleans. They were yelling at the.
That was about to kill them. I wouldn't want them there either.
That was a tantrum.
This is
That's teething. That's also teething pains.
These, like it's literally not one black person here in an 84%. And you know what this tells me? This tells me that the Sons are just they're resigned to it, and the gliders are like it's starting to spill into their areas.
They done brought the nun out.
Yeah, it's spilling into the glider areas, and the gliders are like, oh, it was cool when it was just in the Sun areas, but now it's in our areas. No, we not having this shit. You gotta do something about this. And I don't blame them.
in Fondren. We asked what he's doing in the department to prevent Fondren businesses from being targeted in the future. He says they're working on being more visible in the Capitol Complex Improvement District.
No officer can be everywhere 24 hours a day.
Smash
But
that
all we
officer.
can do is just make sure that we're in the area as much as possible, being seen.
Now, in that same community meeting, Chief Lucky talked about some of the improvements and some of the challenges. He says that he has now brought on 117 officers for the job. When he originally started, it was 64.
Oh, wow.
And now they have 76 patrol cars. When he started, it was 17. Now, one of the
Oh,
challenges.
wow. That's good. Yeah,
That's real good.
That's what you need. Like you need boots on the ground chasing these Sunmen around, man.
Challenges he says is getting communication, everyone on the same page in terms of communication between the Hinds County Sheriff's Office and the Jackson Police Department. He says he's hoping to change that. Tonight, we're live in downtown Fondren. Michaela Franklin, 16 WAPG.
Salute to them, man.
Notice it takes a glider to organize that.
Like I said,
Yeah.
colonizers.
Yeah, man. Salute to him, man. Salute to him for doing that, man. Yeah, this place is This place is a fucking strange place. All right, we got a former football player, NFL player arrested. Another one.
Bond set at $100,000 for Jarrell Poe and Gavin Bates, both men accused of forcing a man to go inside of a bank and withdraw money for a medical marijuana growing operation. They are charged with kidnapping and kidnapping conspiracy, but others claim there's another side to that story. Former Ole Miss and NFL defensive lineman Jarrell Poe and Gavin Bates said nothing as they entered the Ridgeland courthouse to face charges of kidnapping a man who was allegedly leading a medical marijuana growing operation.
Which one you think is the former NFL
player? The big black man.
Yeah.
Well, you don't think Shaggy played in the league, man?
He probably did till he got on meth.
Against his will the victim had been taken against his will out of Laurel, Mississippi, and brought up here overnight. They stayed in Pearl and then came to the Chase Bank. And the reason they ended up in Ridgeland is because there's just a Chase Bank here.
Poe is a defensive lineman standout at Ole Miss, who later went on to play for the Kansas City Chiefs and Houston Texans. According to police, Poe and Bates brought the victim to the Chase Bank in Ridgeland, hoping to recoup some $300,000 they and others invested in a medical marijuana growing operation, but saw very little return on their investments.
The whole time, it's just been shady.
Did you kidnap him?
No.
Keith Stovall says he worked with Poe and Bates on the marijuana project that never grew into anything. He says the alleged victim, Bryce Mathis, was supposedly bringing Poe and Bates to the bank to return their investment money of $300,000.
That's how they ended up over here to the Chase Bank, because Bryce was supposed to give them the money back. And it turns out to where he went in the bank and said, because he couldn't produce the money, that Jarrell was kidnapping him.
He's
probably is something to do with self-help, but you can't break the law and engage in kidnapping to collect on a debt. But yes, it's a kidnapping case.
Prosecutors say there is much more to this case that will be revealed at a later date, but the charge.
That's a big old deal. What if that's your cellmate, man? It's a big old deal right there, boy. Good God.
Later date, but the charges are for a reason.
Well, we're not going to try the case out here in public, but you can rest assured that in Ridgeland, we would not have arrested them and charged them with kidnapping if it wasn't kidnapping.
Yeah, that's a big man.
Bond set at $100,000 for each man. They have waived their preliminary hearing, which means now their case will go before a Madison County grand jury. Investigators say this case is ongoing.
Now, I want to ask y'all a question, man. What country does this guy make? What, the defensive lineman in the NFL? What country does he make $5 to $10 million a year doing anything? Just name one.
Well,
Canada.
If he slimmed down and could run.
No,
him
as
might
he
make
is.
Soccer.
Canada.
Him as he is. Him, not somebody
There's no
else.
country.
Him, not somebody
America
else.
for 500, Alex.
I'm gonna say he can go to Canada and play football in Canada.
But they
They're
don't
not
pay
giving
as
money out
much.
like that, bro. Not even close.
I don't know nothing about sports.
I'm gonna say
Yeah,
America
just
for
here, man.
200.
What country could he go to? One of the finest universities in the one of the finest universities in the world. This guy get a scholarship, a full scholarship. He didn't pay a dime to go to one of the finest universities in the world.
America.
Just America.
Right here in the
put my
goddamn
car on
US of A.
Why he didn't just sue the man? Why he had
Boat
kidnapped
burning a
him?
fucking thing.
Why he didn't just take the man to court and
Because
sue him?
that's not a
That's
son
how he
man way of
operates.
handling business.
But it would have kept him out of jail.
Right,
Now,
but
now he's gonna lose his freedom.
He needed a wife like you. He needed a wife like Brown Sugar to make him think of that.
Nah, he'll kill me.
Yeah, he wouldn't have had any money to invest in
He'll
the
kill
first
me
place.
on a honeymoon night.
Oh shit! Oh my god! But listen, man. Yeah, this is why didn't he do it? Because that's just not how he operates. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just not his modus operandi, man. Let's see. Okay, we're gonna go to Memphis in a minute, man.
Well, it's all a part of the National Martin Luther King National Holiday Weekend. Before Mike Epps took to the stage for laughs, he took part in a water distribution, joining local Greek organizations.
These people they're ready to laugh.
Smash.
Right here, Flair. Right here, Flair.
Before entertaining a crowd in a weekend comedy show downtown, comedian Mike Epps handing out water to Jackson residents still struggling to get easy access to this basic resource.
The water kind of got like a little odor and stuff to it when it come out.
No laughing matter, and the rest of the country don't understand how bad it is.
Epps joined.
Yeah, we do, Mike. It's called Jafrica.
Bad it is.
Epps joined members of local fraternities and sororities who gathered at the Jackson Convention Complex Sunday for a bottled water giveaway. It's all part of a day of service honoring the Dr. Martin Luther King national holiday.
To come here, man, and to see how resilient these people are here in Jackson. Jackson's always been a great city in America, man.
It's
He lying now.
So it's been a great city in America. It's the biggest blackest city, because the other cities that are this population of black people are Miami Gardens, East St. Louis, and I think Detroit. So this is probably the second biggest black city in the country. And
look at the similar problems they have with like Flint.
Yeah, they're like literally doing USO service missions within the continental United States.
But it's a white city got the same issue. So I did a story on it.
Oh, you're talking the water.
Yeah,
the
but
water.
you never hear anything about a celebrity coming out to help them out.
But those people have water problems, and they're told to fucking deal with it. They're told to fuck off and deal with it.
Yeah.
These people, and also they don't have all the other problems. The water problem is the problem. They don't have the litter. They don't have the crime. You know what I'm saying? That's their only problem, the water.
Man, and to see how resilient these people are here in Jackson. Jackson's always been a great city in America, man. I think as a country and a government, we need to support them.
With a new federally appointed third-party administrator now running the water system, plus $600 million in promised
So it's a third-party administrator running the water. They've taken the water thing out of the Sun.
Right. Yep. They took it away from the incompetence, and now they're getting it back online.
I wish somebody would ask these people what. I wish somebody would ask people what the definition of a great city is. Like actually have them explain what it is.
It's just bizarre. He called it.
It's the same. City. It's the same definition of a good kid.
Yeah, he hasn't killed anybody yet.
System plus $600 million in promised federal funds for major repairs. Bottled water distribution could become
They're about to give this one city $600 million in federal funds. Where does that federal funds come from?
And this city is paying another contractor $300,000 to pick up trash because it won't give littering tickets to people.
All of those people living around that city. All those people living around that city that are not on welfare, that's where the money's coming from.
$600 million?
Appointed third-party administrator now running the water system, plus $600 million in promised federal funds for major repairs. Bottled water distribution could become a thing of the past soon, but not just yet. Recent water main breaks have triggered boil water notices and a loss of pressure for people like Wilma Williams.
You can barely take a bath. Your cooking conditions, you have to go buy water and stuff, and it gets very costly.
So this really helps?
Yes, sir, it does. It does, and I appreciate it.
Where do y'all want it? Mayor Chokwe Antrala came out to help distribute water and to thank Epps for his contribution to the community.
As long as they see that people have support for them and people are praying for them, thinking about them in other places, I think that'll keep their morale up.
That's a Mercedes picking up water,
more than
free water.
200 cases.
Yeah, he probably ain't got no fucking water in his house. So just because he got a fucking Mercedes don't mean that the pipes under his house are fucking built the last 50 years.
Hey,
Well,
I'm far from driving a Mercedes, but I won't have to worry about getting water because I have already had that figured out by now.
Well, and he has a Mercedes. That doesn't mean he has a house. It just means he's unwise with his money.
Or grandma died and he took the car.
Yeah, that too.
Well, I think it's funny they're investing $600 million into a city that generates like no tangible tax base.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's just another, chunk of welfare basically.
Giant trash can.
Let's go to
Black hole.
let's go to Memphis. Golly, man.
Go to my beautiful city, Memphis.
It's bad when you go to Memphis to get away from the problems of a different city.
Yeah, it is.
My
Crazy.
mama wanted me to come to Memphis. Let me tell y'all what happened real quick. So my husband and I was on a road driving on a little road trip, and we went through St. Louis. I told him I had to go to the restroom, and I thought he was gonna stop at a Pilot gas station, but he got off this exit, and I see some sunteens with their dreads, pants sagging, and I was like, "Go, go, get off, get off the lot, get off the lot now!" And he was like, "I'm trying to go as fast as I can, babe." I was so scared because I knew that because I was a rental, but they don't know it's a rental. All they know is it's a 2022 vehicle. So I seen them spot me, and I just knew those were carjacking eyes. And I said, "Please, yes." Cause he cut his eye at me. He was twisting her, and he cut his eye at me, and I just knew. I just
Yeah.
knew that if he would have stopped, it was gonna be over. I was gonna be an Akadu's story.
Man, you know how
Good
happy
Lord.
they were once they seen that 2022 vehicle, man.
Yeah,
Free
that
money, free money.
salute to Brown Sugar for making a wise decision.
Good
s-
decision.
yeah, salute to Paul Federal. You got a lot of noise in the background, brother. Um, he says some men are unhireable. Employers prefer no English. Oh, he said some men are unhireable. Employers prefer no English, which means hombritos, man.
Hey, you
Yeah,
want to know something
man.
funny, Yak? Not
Yeah,
to
go ahead.
cut you off.
No, go ahead.
When I was delivering today, and I'm going in like the South Shore neighborhood, fucking shit neighborhood. Mind you, this is owned by a bunch of some people. Who you think was working in there as one of the people cooking? Two
Oh,
people.
every Jamaican restaurant I go to now has fucking
No,
hombritos in it.
this is daycare too. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Two
it's, it's
hombritas.
great. It's
Yeah,
the darndest thing,
yeah.
man.
It's crazy, right?
Yeah.
First at 10 tonight, calls for accountability are growing after a man died after being arrested by Memphis police. Good evening, and thanks for being with us tonight. I'm Shay Arthur. Supporters of Tyree Nichols came together to protest his death today. WREG's Jordan James was there. He's live tonight with what they want to see happen. Hey, Jordan.
Hey, Shay, while officers with Memphis police have been placed on leave for their role in the arrest of Tyree Nichols, supporters are calling for justice amid his death.
Justice for Tyree!
A rally cry birthed from pain and loss.
For them to do this to him, it's unbearable. It's unbearable.
Why is this unbearable? Why have all the murders in the city? This one's unbearable. This fucking guy was a fucking piece of shit. He was acting like one. Let me put it like that.
It's unbearable.
As a family and community mourn the death of Tyree Nichols.
This is auntie.
His memory is his legacy.
This is the best y'all could find of him.
Well, they trying to say that he wasn't a typical thug because he skateboard and he listened to rock music and things like that.
Oh God! Now they're gonna be like,
That just means he hangs out with white meth heads.
Didn't he? Is that the guy who had a gun in his car when the cops pulled up on him and they lit up the whole car?
No, this is something different.
He got beat up.
Okay.
His memory is his legacy at this point.
The 29-year-old died this week, days after being arrested by Memphis police after they say he was driving recklessly. Prior to being taken into custody, officers reportedly got into
Do you know what you have to do to get pulled over for reckless driving in Memphis?
Man, you gotta be doing donuts, running red lights, hanging out, twerking on the car. Like you gotta do a lot of stuff.
the baseline for behavior in these sun cities is so low that the cops really don't, and it's the same in DC. You gotta like literally be doing some wild shit. The cops don't have the bandwidth to fuck with you over petty shit because it's so much big shit going on.
Driving recklessly. Prior to being taken into custody, officers reportedly got into a confrontation with him, which left Nichols hospitalized.
When we got to the hospital, it was devastating. It was almost as though he was killed on the scene.
Rodney Wells is Nichols' stepfather. He tells WREG his son ended up suffering a cardiac arrest and kidney failure because of the alleged beating by officers.
They beat his
All of that
ass.
still should not occur because of a traffic stop. You shouldn't be on a dialysis machine looking.
A traffic stop where he ran from the police probably led him on a high-speed chase and endangered everybody in the city.
Oh, and I guarantee they're going to find he was full of fucking meth.
However much of a fight he put up is why he looks the way he does.
Exactly.
I never heard
That
of
swelling is the kidney failure.
I never heard of an aspirin causing kidney failure.
No, it's the drugs.
Could have been pills too.
Yeah, it's drugs.
Yeah. Like this because of a traffic stop. That's unhumane.
It's not because of a traffic stop.
An outcome-inspiring protest outside of a Memphis police precinct Saturday as dozens brought their message directly to officers.
This is the time that we need to speak up about police brutality, excessive force, the killings, the shootings.
Among the things Nichols supporters are demanding is the release of the body camera footage of the arrest, which is under investigation by.
These people are fucking annoying as all fucking hell. Shit, I hate these people.
And this family is happy as shit that this isn't being released. Because it's just like Jaheim McMillan's family. They're just banking it and fucking in GoFundMe until this shit is released and people see what happens.
Where do gliders come from?
Hey man, these are friends. These are
apparently
friends.
the gay community, by the looks of it.
Remember,
I was right. Thank you.
No, remember he listened to rock and he skateboarded.
It happened in
that's his meth buddies.
That's what you got the body cam.
That his gay white
We are
boyfriend.
not accepting anything less.
A sentiment shared by Nichols' family as they prepare for the unexpected burial of a father, brother, and
Nah, he definitely swung both ways.
You wouldn't be so mad if it was a car accident or something. But you beat somebody to death. And we ain't never gonna be right. This is uncalled for.
And no word yet if that body cam footage will be released to the public. Tyreek is set to be buried next week. For now, reporting here live.
I want to see that body cam footage, bro.
But it wasn't the car stop that led to it. It's his actions when he got stopped that led to it.
Yeah, definitely.
You don't get beat like that for no reason, man.
No. And you're not a fucking healthy young man having a fucking heart attack because you're fighting with police unless you're fucking drugged out.
And that swelling could be from him being sick.
Beginning tonight at 5 with.
Yeah, they're taking this shit seriously. That these some people they.
Beginning tonight at 5 with calls to release the video. That chant could be heard as thousands throughout the day gathered at the National Civil Rights Museum to mark Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Day. Many of those chanting were activists, friends, and family members of Tyre Nichols. He's the 29-year-old man who died last week after a confrontation with Memphis police. The demands to see the officer's body camera footage involving the chase and confrontation with Nichols comes as Memphis police chiefs released a statement saying the arresting officers have been notified of impending administrative action. Good evening, and thank you for joining us. I'm Greg Hirsch. Stephanie is off tonight. People at the law offices of well-known civil rights attorney Ben Crump are telling us they are representing Nichols' family in this case. WREG's Shay Arthur is live tonight at the Civil Rights Museum after speaking with the family about the next steps. And Shay, what are they telling you?
Hey, Greg. Well, they're hurt, they're angry, they're distraught. And tonight, they're calling for those officers involved to be fired and charged with murder.
I am a man!
Chants echoing through the crowds at the National Civil Rights Museum Monday. Chants of frustration following the death of 29-year-old father Tyree Nichols.
Justice for
And words of sadness.
our family will never be the same.
No tears, not even a fucking little bit of a tear in the fucking crease of the eye, nothing.
How about every one of these people that murder somebody in the community that you harbor in your home after they've committed the murder? We charge you with murder. How about that?
Now that's better. That's better than that will work.
These people are insufferable. They look what they're doing to the police. This is one of the most violent cities in the country. The only reason it's not Haiti, well, not the only, one of the reasons it's not Haiti is because of these police officers chasing these fucking sunmen around and fucking all day and fucking doing all this reconnaissance and all these SWAT teams and all these vice squads just fucking chasing these sunmen around and keeping them on their toes. And then
nobody came out for none of the children that was viciously murdered in the city of Memphis.
That same sunman.
Nobody came out for that pastor who got her brains blown out. The pastor.
Yep.
That same sunman, while he was in that car running from the police, would have mowed down this whole crowd.
Yep.
And nobody came out for the glider woman that got kidnapped, violated, and murdered.
They did come out for her though. The city did. They found that sunman real quick.
But she would have been alive had they arrested him the first time.
Yeah. What's her name? I forgot her name. That woman.
So the police, the city just ain't on this job.
Yeah, and this guy, these people are sick. Doing this is a sick. This is monkey behavior. These people are like acting like monkeys.
Because of the cruel act over the traffic stop.
His sister tearfully telling us his family now lives in a nightmare.
And we just want justice for my baby brother. He did not deserve this.
Their gathering
I mean,
comes
that
less
is
than
his sister,
24
so.
hours after Memphis Police Chief C.J. Davis and Memphis Mayor Jim Strickland released a joint statement saying officers involved in the traffic stop that ultimately led to Nichols' death have been served notice of impending administrative action. Nichols' stepfather.
So they gotta fucking throw these cops under the bus to appease this mob.
Well, they got to notice that there's going to be an investigation. That's all it means.
I'm not gonna lie, that looked like some fake ass crime. Regardless of what you guys say is genetic, they take it better, whatever this and that. That doesn't seem right. That just rubbed me the wrong way.
Man, if he would have ran over a 12-year-old, those people would be watching the fucking game.
Man, I've seen better fake crime than what I just seen right now, bro. You call me insensitive, whatever it is. That shit pissed me off, bro.
If he had ran over a 12-year-old and then got beaten up in the arrest, they'd still be doing the same thing.
Nah, man, release that footage, man. Release that footage. I'll be waiting.
That's true. Father Rodney Wells.
It doesn't mean anything to me until the officers are arrested and charged. It doesn't mean anything. Those are words. We need action.
They're now calling for the release of officers' body camera footage and other video captured in the area at the time of the incident.
Say no more! Say no more!
An incident described by police.
Say no more, release the video. Say no more, release the video. These people are fucking monkeys, man.
It doesn't mean anything. Those are words. We need action.
They're now calling for the release of officers' body camera footage and other video captured in the area at the time of the incident.
Say no more! Say no more!
An incident described by police as a confrontation that Nichols' family says made him go into cardiac arrest, left him with a broken neck, and suffer from other medical issues.
He was 6'3", 145, 50 pounds, soaking wet.
They know. They got the notification that they are in error and they are
Meth.
wrong.
Family says Nichols has never been in trouble. He was a skateboarder who liked to take pictures.
Tyreek's not a gangster. He don't have a thug bone in his
I
body.
told you. That's the narrative that he wasn't a thug. He was a skater and all that crap. Like that
That's
man.
6'3" and 145 is a methamphetamine problem.
If that's the case, and he's not a criminal and he doesn't have a past record, what the hell is he running from the police for?
He maybe high.
And he's skinny. 6'3", 140 pounds.
Oh, he's scared.
Yeah, that's
He
AIDS, man.
scared.
6'3", 140 pounds is fucking AIDS and meth.
From that white boy. You right.
God damn it.
He's still participating in it, though. Still participating in it, if that's the case.
But I'm trying to see, just because you skate, what does that mean? You can still harm people.
Yeah,
every fucking skater, every skater I know is a fucking social degenerate.
Yeah, exactly.
Especially adult ones.
Ask how Rittenhouse.
Yeah. They're not fucking yeah, exactly. They're not like fucking, he's not like on the fucking X Games and some shit. He's just some fucking random guy with a skateboard. But here's my thing though. The what these people are saying is very interesting. They're saying he's not a thug or a gangster, which is an anomaly, which is a reason. Like, look, this one is not a thug or a gangster. Somebody drinking something. I don't know what the fuck they drinking. Yeah, damn. I think they're saying, look, you gotta give us this one, because this one, yeah, we'll give you, all the rest of them are fucking degenerates, but this one right here, he wasn't a thug or a gangster. He was
dude. Every one of them was a fucking degenerate.
And look, you see them people,
and we had to give them every one.
You see that jewelry that she wearing? Those people are crazy. When I see women walk around them big African country earrings, I don't fool with them.
And they are wrong.
Family says Nichols has never been in trouble. He was a skateboarder who liked to take pictures.
Tyreek's not a gangster. He don't have a thug bone in his body.
Wells, who worked with his son at FedEx, says he's now on a mission.
Only thing that has meaning to me right at this point is getting justice for my son. That's it. That's all.
And Greg, as you saw and as you heard there, an emotional day here at the National Civil Rights Museum for so many reasons. And tonight, as part of that statement that was released by the city and Memphis police, the city says before it can discipline or terminate employees, they must go through a required procedural process, which is expected to be completed later this week. In the meantime, the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation is also conducting its own use of force investigation. We're live downtown tonight. Shay Arthur, WREG.
I'm sorry, y'all. I said Africa is a country. Excuse me. It's a continent.
With 58 countries.
Yeah, with 58 countries. It act like a country. It don't look like a continent. The way the people act over there.
New information tonight in the case of Tyre Nichols, the man who died a few days after a confrontation with the Memphis Police Department.
Now, the investigation into what happened and why it happened spans just beyond MPD and the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation. The feds are coming. WRG's Ashley Paul joins us now live. And Ashley, fill us in on this new development.
Yeah, Stephanie and Greg. Well, today we learned the FBI has launched a civil rights investigation into the incident. And this comes just days before we'll hopefully get to see for ourselves what really happened on January 7th.
Say no more.
Just over a week after the death of Tyre Nichols, the push for answers is only just beginning.
We've been very concerned about this whole situation, and that's why MPD acted immediately to do an internal investigation.
Mayor Jim Strickland speaking to WREG today about the city's investigation into what happened that day. According to the Memphis Police Department, 29-year-old Nichols was taken to the hospital complaining of shortness of breath after what they called two, quote, confrontations stemming from a traffic stop. 3 days later, Nichols died. prompting Shelby County District Attorney Steve Mulroy to call in the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation for a use of force investigation, while the city looks into employment and any police policy violations.
The investigation.
That's a Soros
internally about
DA.
employment matters.
Yeah, that
Yep.
guy's evil. He's
very evil because he's
Well, and the
he
feds are jumping in to do anything to pander to Sun people. They're trying to generate goodwill.
he blamed I'm sorry, real quick. He blamed the man that killed Elizabeth and the guy that went shot everybody the next day. He blamed them going to jail at the age of 17. Said that's the reason why they got out of jail, committed crimes, because they was locked up at 17 years old.
And they got to get anything in the news to cut the story about Biden's fucking secret documents in his garage.
Yeah, and then I haven't heard anything about that. That's crazy.
Investigation internally about employment matters ended this past Saturday. And then the investigator thought there were some violations of policy, and they created a notice of violations for each officer involved. And those were done Sunday.
He wouldn't comment on what those violations are or how many officers were involved. He says that will be discussed at a hearing later this week, and the officers will have a chance to appeal the violations.
Our goal right now is have the hearing the end of this week, meet with the family early next week, show them the video, and then release the video to the public.
So according to Mayor Strickland, we could see that body cam footage as early as next week, which should answer some of those questions we have about what happened to Nichols. Meanwhile, today, the Department of Justice, the U.S. Department of Justice, sent out a release signaling the feds are now involved, reading in part, quote, the United States Attorney's Office, in coordination with the FBI Memphis Field Office and the Civil Rights Division of the Department of Justice, has opened a civil rights investigation. We'll make sure to bring you all that information on the hearing later this week and that video once it's released here on WREG.
Jesus Christ. It's got to be fucking taxing to live in a city, to be a sane person to live in a city where black people are killing each other 24/7, 365, and to have them constantly bitching about fucking degenerates getting fucking in dust ups with cops.
And the federal one worries me more because they can do anything and say, well, that's a civil rights violation and go charge them.
Yeah, the federal is like the RICO.
Police say a threatening Facebook message links a man to murder. WREG's Marcus Hunter spoke with the victim's mother to give police the message that ultimately led to an arrest.
Confusion in court. It took over an hour before bailiffs were able to locate LaMarcus Smith inside 201 Poplar to bring him before a judge. When they did, he was formally charged with first-degree murder in connection to the death of Darnell Appling.
You're charged with first-degree murder, Class A felony, carries life without parole, life with parole, on the death penalty.
According to a police affidavit, just before 2 a.m. December 29th, they were called to the Valentine Evergreen neighborhood. There, they found 29-year-old Darnell Appling shot to death. Police say after contacting the family, Appling's mother showed them a Facebook message where Smith threatened Appling. Appling's mother says she immediately knew her son's death was linked to the post.
It said, you better put your on a leash before something happens to you.
According.
Wow.
That's over, girl.
Goddamn, Sarah Shepherd. She fucking had she's a goddamn mud shark, man. Single mother, probably 9 times out of 10. These women are single mothers more commonly than sisters are. Isn't that crazy? Like when they have babies with black dudes, they have a higher single mother rate than black women.
Is that true? I didn't know that.
It's 92%. With these women. That's the single mother rate with these women. It's 92%. And with sisters is 77%.
Hey, y'all were talking about the death penalty earlier. Do you know what the Vikings did instead of the death penalty?
No, what do they do?
They would they do castration and blindness. So they cut off your nuts and gouge out your eyes.
That sucks.
And then let you walk around, let you live.
That's what they did to that girl granddaddy when he asked for that receipt, ain't it?
Yeah.
What?
That
Where was that?
That judge, they cut her granddaddy private parts off and keep like they was doing it in America.
Okay. Yeah, I'm sure you're talking about a lynching.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. That was their rule. They didn't want to. They didn't believe in killing. They just wanted. They thought it was, worse to cut off somebody's nuts and blind them and let them loose.
It is worse because here's the thing. You live with that pain. See, this jail thing in America, some men are not punished by prison. Prison is not a punishment for some men because you go there, all your needs are taken care of, your basic needs. You're in an environment where you get to do the violence and the violent. You're in a base. You're in your base nature. You're not in a place where like a society where you're forced to conform. You're in a place where you can just unleash your base nature and just be, violent and reprobate. And also you have homosexual love there too. So they don't.
Do they make you work like they did Brittany Griner?
No, they don't make you work.
Yeah,
you can work. You can work, right? You can get on the detail if you want to. Yeah. So I mean, and I'm not saying that they should cut some men's balls off or gouge their eyes out. What I'm saying is that anybody, anywhere where there's crime, that would do the trick. Because a lot of guys wouldn't commit crimes.
Yeah, because it'd be horrifying.
Yeah, you wouldn't commit crimes in the first place. A lot of people wouldn't get castrated and get their eyes gouged out because they'd be like, "Oh fuck no, I ain't doing that shit."
We knew her son's death was linked to the post.
It said, "You better put your on a leash before something happens to you."
According to Appling's mother, Sarah Shepard, the woman Smith was referring to was his ex-girlfriend and the mother of his child. She said her son was in her car when he and the car were shot up. She said what makes this harder is knowing Smith and Appling were friends. Smith even posted on his Facebook page a link to a GoFundMe asking his followers to donate to help with Appling's funeral expenses.
Wow.
Oh, see, they're not all bad.
Right. This one right here, this is a unicorn, man.
He's a kind murderer.
Yeah,
sweet guy.
He said, man, donate to this guy's GoFundMe. This guy who just passed away. The guy who was just murdered by somebody. Wow. This is woo.
This is baffling. Like, because they called each other their cousin, that was his almost like his best friend.
Did she say that was
it's
cousin?
Just like hard to believe that you would.
They called each other because they was playing.
Oh, okay.
Do that over a female.
Police say Smith's new girlfriend admitted to them he stole her gun and used it to shoot and kill Appling.
He didn't deserve that. He didn't deserve that at all.
She says her son is a loving person who would have helped anyone out. Appling leaves behind 2 children. In Memphis, Marcus Hunter, WREG News Channel 3.
By the way, Smith will be back in court on the 31st. He is being held without bond.
Good.
At least she ain't got to run into him at the grocery store, so that's good. Let's see. That's the one thing about this place, man. You get stuck in Memphis. That's the thing. I wanted to do some other cities, but I guess we're going to do it another night because you get stuck in Memphis.
Now to a crime alert tonight. 5 fast food restaurants in Memphis robbed at gunpoint in one night. WREG's Bria Jones joins us live now from the downtown police precinct after talking to workers about these scary holdups. Bria.
Smash.
Well, Steph, according to police reports, that suspect tried to rob 5 businesses, in some cases pointing a gun at kids working after school jobs.
Oh my God.
This startling video shows a drive-through shakedown at a Taco Bell in Parkway Village. The suspect, seen here in a gray hoodie and mask, is pointing a handgun at a female cashier and then grabs the entire cash register drawer before speeding off.
So now, right here, if one of them pulled out a gun and blew his brains out, it would be a question of how many times they shot him and did they do too much. Well, they shot him 5 times. After the 4th bullet, he was not moving anymore. Why'd they shoot him the 5th time? We're fucked, man.
Boldness, and people just don't care. According to Memphis police, the same man struck again, hitting 5 fast food restaurants across Memphis from around 8 to 9 Monday night, starting at a McDonald's on Poplar and then going on to hold up a Taco Bell, Crystals, and 2
I
other
hate this
McDonald's
side of
locations,
town.
ending the crime spree on
Why
South.
is this? What is this?
That's
South
East.
Memphis?
That's East Memphis. I
Oh,
hate it there. It's terrible. It's like, to me, personally, it's the worst part of Memphis.
where's East Memphis? This right here.
Yes.
So what's this? This is East Memphis too.
Like, no, Poplar is like Midtown area. Getwell Road, it's like towards East Memphis, Perkins, Netmore, all that towards East Memphis.
Wow.
Perkins Road. At this restaurant, the suspect demanded a teen girl give him all the cash from the register. Police say the suspect got away with $243.
She was crying. She was in shock. She was scared. Somebody had pointed a gun at her, and she didn't know what to do. She was just in shock, so she had no choice other but to give up the draw.
In all the robberies, police say the suspect placed a food order before demanding cash and speeding off in a blue Hyundai Accent. But eventually, his luck ran out. Workers at this McDonald's told police when the suspect came by their store, he was with an armed passenger. They were able to push the panic button alarm and the men drove away.
Like you see all the criminals come through. You serve the good people and the bad people.
Customers dining inside the restaurant say it's incidents like this that make them hesitant to come out.
They don't care if they shoot anybody. They don't care if they take from anybody. It's just too bold. I mean, just crazy.
People are shooting and stealing from place to place. They should take the guns away.
Shit. I bet you want to try that Popeyes.
Oh, little girl, you don't know.
Oh, little precious baby.
God help
Bet
you,
you
man.
want to try to rob a Popeyes.
I think she trying to say they should take the guns away from the criminals.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
post
hope so.
on Instagram and they're a known felon. They should get raided and get the guns stolen back from them.
Brown sugar, I really hope that's what she means.
No, dude, that's a mammy in training.
Man, look, she's a little
You
kid.
trying to take this
God
little
bless her,
girl.
man. God bless her, man. Just hope she's safe. That's all I'm gonna say.
I'm not gonna take this baby.
At this time, it's unknown how
And
much
somebody
money
in
the
chat
armed robber
said
got away
Smash
with.
and Bria counts as a threesome. Y'all wrong for that.
Oh, that's clever. That's
Wow.
clever. That's clever.
Whoa. Wow.
Police say at this time, no arrests have been made. If you know anything, call Crime Stoppers at 528-CASH. We're now reporting live downtown. Bria Jones, WREG News.
528 cash.
Wow. Yeah, this place is a fucking. Oh, we got a glider. Yay!
We have a crime alert tonight, a graphic case of abuse. A woman is accused of attacking her 97-year-old grandmother, who described her situation as worse than World War II and the Great Depression.
Stacey
Damn.
Denton is charged with abuse of an elderly or vulnerable adult. WREG's Shay Arthur is live tonight after speaking with experts about what to look out for in cases similar to this. Shay?
Hey, Stephanie. Hey, Greg. Yeah, while these allegations are difficult to hear, difficult to talk about tonight, experts want others to be aware. Tonight, Memphis police are investigating after a 97-year-old woman told detectives her granddaughter, Stacy Denton, attacked her at an East Memphis home. The woman telling officers Denton came home drunk, came into her room while she was in bed and started shaking her, saying she was causing trouble. She's accused of kicking the elderly woman so hard in the leg her tissue was exposed. The grandmother made it to a neighbor's house for help, telling investigators she's, quote, been through World War II, the Great Depression, and everything in between, but this is the worst I've ever been through. Melanie Keller is with Meriton. Among the services they provide is help for the elderly. We talked to her about elder abuse.
It happens more than people think. It happens in all zip codes throughout our county, throughout the country, and it's very underreported. Statistics show anywhere between 1 in 10 and 1 in 14 cases of elder abuse actually ever get reported.
It's usually a loved one, a daughter or a son, or someone they trust, someone they love. So oftentimes seniors do not want to get that person in trouble.
Chastity Taylor, elder care coordinator with the Family Safety Center, talked about things to look out for when it comes to abuse. She says, listen to elders and what they say is going on with them.
Don't discount what they're saying because of memory impairments or forgetfulness. Watch out for indicators. Look at their physical appearance. If they're starting to have more bruising or they're starting to have to go to the emergency room more often.
When in doubt, I always say speak out. It's not up to you to be that detective and figure out exactly what is going on. But if you have suspicions or concerns, go with your gut, make that phone call.
Yeah, and it's also part of Tennessee state law to report abuse if you are suspecting it. For resources, you can go to our website, WREG.com. Just click on this story. We're live downtown tonight. Shay Arthur, WREG.
All right, let's do one more city, man, before we get out of here, man. Salute to everybody, man. 400 still, or close to 400 still at 2 o'clock in the morning, man. That's big, man. Salute to everybody watching on Rumble, man. Anybody got any city that you want to get to, or we're gonna just get out of here, man. Salute to Johnny Rep on Rumble. Everybody good? Let's see. Somebody said Philly. All right, let's see what's going on. Let's see what's going on. Jesus Christ. Philadelphia. Let's see what's going on. Okay, here we go. Alrighty, man.
A triple shooting in southwest Philadelphia kills 2 people. Another is in the hospital fighting for his life. It happened just before midnight inside of a Chinese takeout restaurant on Chester Avenue in King Sessing. Reporter Nikki DiMentri went back to the community today. She joins us live from police headquarters with what neighbors are saying.
They just had a shooting where 3 were killed and four were shot and 3 were killed the other day.
Nikki?
Jessica, neighbors throughout the day told me that they are frustrated, they're saddened, and they're disheartened by what happened. 2 moms went as far as saying they're just done with this senseless violence, so much so one of those moms moved her family out of the area 3 years ago. The other mom says she's hoping to do the same very soon.
2 mothers lost their children right across the street from the neighborhood supermarket. It's horrifying.
It's a mother's nightmare, and in King Sessing, too many parents fear losing their children.
Another mother's crying. I mean, another child is gone.
What are the odds we see an attractive woman the whole time we're in Philly right now? Give me the odds, man.
They're not pretty at all.
We never see one. That's the problem. Like I could understand, you have an issue with, the women are not attractive in your town. But we haven't seen one in the history of our nation.
Something around here.
Gloria Williams lives
Doesn't
around the
affect a
corner
burglar.
from where a
100,
triple
maybe?
shooting left 2 of her neighbors dead. Police say inside Shangri-La Chinese restaurant on Chester Avenue near 54th, 2 men and a woman were shot. A 19-year-old man and a 43-year-old woman died from their injuries. The 20-year-old remains in the hospital. Neighbors tell me the 2 men are brothers.
If nobody's saying nothing, it's going to continue. And it's just started. There's something out here. Yeah, it's going to get worse.
Williams says in the years she's lived here, several businesses closed due to the rising crime. The mother of 5 says she's looking to move out of the
Oh, so that explains how they get food deserts. Oh, I thought food deserts was white supremacy, man.
No, you kill the
Nah.
people making the food.
That's why they
Rising
shut.
crime.
That's why they shut down Aldi's in South Memphis. The crime was so terrible, and they were stealing so much. They closed the store down.
Same shit happened over here in the neighborhood too, man. It's only gonna get worse.
The mother of 5 says she's looking to move out of the neighborhood.
Because there's too much violence around here, and I have young kids. It used to didn't be like that. I mean, you had your occasional shootings, but not like this.
Sharita Manira, a mom of 4, says she moved out of the area 3 years ago.
What do you think it would have been like if you?
It used to be
And you
better
didn't move
before
away
you
3 years
chased all the gliders out.
To be honest, I really don't know. I wasn't going to take the risk or take the chance.
Police are looking for 2 shooters in connection with this shooting as the investigation continues. They say there is no known motive at this time. They believe one of those men may have been targeted. Jessica?
Nikki.
Jesus Christ.
And now this. A 14-year-old boy is accused of shooting and killing another 14-year-old following a birthday party in Camden.
That's terrible.
At least this is Camden. This isn't.
What's wrong? What's wrong with these kids? Like, they're just wired differently.
They're sons.
I know.
Now
It's
this.
just so
A
weird.
14-year-old boy is accused of shooting and killing another 14-year-old following a birthday party in Camden.
For the last month, we have been following the investigation into the murder of Damian Allen and his family's fight to find his killer.
South Jersey reporter Brandon Goldner has the new details on how investigators track down the suspect.
But at the end of the day, I just want justice for him. He deserves justice.
Shemaine Allen says her slain son Damian is one step closer to receiving that justice. After the Camden County Prosecutor's Office announced Tuesday they made an arrest in the 14-year-old's murder. His accused killer, also 14 years old. Because of his age, the prosecutor's office is not releasing his name.
I can get some sleep, some real sleep now, at least knowing that the person that took my son's life is not still running the streets and living a free life and happy life.
Damn.
Some rough looking sisters.
She done lost her whole patch at her head.
Hey, that sucks, bro. But what's he throwing up?
She like George Jefferson.
I don't know what that is. I've never seen that before.
That's some gang. That's some local gang. Obviously, he was with the shits.
You could see in his eyes.
Oh shit! This is Jersey. Oh fuck.
Yeah, this is right across the
Real
road
sleep now,
from
at
Philly.
least knowing that the person that took my son's life is not still running the
He ain't
streets
gonna get
and
no
living
time.
a free life and happy life.
Investigators say the 14-year-old shot and killed Damian last month outside the Elks Lodge in Camden following a Sweet 16 birthday party.
Wait a minute.
Sweet 16 birthday party. He shot him right outside.
You're right about these newscasters. Got to read these reports every single night and see the same thing over and over.
I wouldn't let my 14-year-old go anywhere at night alone in a city like this anyway. When I was in Memphis, I didn't let my son go outside and play with the children in the neighborhood because they were so ratchet.
Well, Raj, from what's happening, she let her son go out. So that's all that we need to know. She did.
I don't know why
Investigators say
she
the
did that.
14-year-old shot and killed Damian last month outside the Elks Lodge in Camden following a Sweet 16 birthday party. Prosecutors say towards the end of the party, an argument occurred between some teens, which escalated once they left the lodge. Detectives say the 14-year-old suspect pulled out a gun and fired,
Oh my
hitting
God.
Damian.
Smash what?
You said we were look. I told you we were looking for a good looking woman in Philly.
No.
Crushed.
Bria Jones is classy.
Yeah, but Bria Jones ain't rocking. Bria Jones
Bria Jones a Memphis chick. She would never wear nothing like this.
I got Dallas Star Lizzo. Goddamn. Fuck out of here.
Somebody said smash with a crowbar.
Dash.
With a waist.
Somebody said I love threesomes.
Chief of Detectives Robert Ferris says the stunned
I don't know, you
community
probably need a
helped
sledgehammer for that one.
investigators solve this case.
It kind of hit the community, and we were able to get a lot of leads from the community.
Meanwhile, Alan knows this arrest is only the beginning of what could be a long process to get justice, so she's drawing strength from her children, including Damian.
He would go and make sure that everybody was okay and had strength. So I take that from him as well. He's a very strong 14-year-old. He stood on what he believed, and he cared for so many.
Chief Ferris says they're still investigating Damian's murder. He says there were a lot of people at this birthday party, a lot of potential witnesses, and they're asking anyone with information or who may have seen something to come forward and talk to investigators. We have more information on how you can do that.
Good luck
A
with
triple
that.
shooting in.
Good luck with that. Wow.
But that 14-year-old might not even doing a jail time.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely not. Oh,
no, they're going to the Kids Gladiator Academy.
Yeah, because didn't you do a story on another child that was 14 and they didn't get him in a jail time because of the laws change?
I know usually you stray away from it, but you didn't do Chicago today at all, right?
We'll do Chicago tomorrow.
Oh no. Yeah, no, that's cool. There's a crazy story that happened today, bro. It's I'll just say it real quick, but you can check it out tomorrow. It's special needs kid got fucking shot in the head.
All right, man. Let's just go ahead.
Shit was fucked, dude.
We'll do this one and then we're gonna get out of here, man. Let me see. We'll do this one and get out of here, man. Cause
she was fucked up when I heard it, man.
Yeah, because y'all was being mean to me tonight.
Right there.
Yeah.
Jesus Riga's father.
What you laughing at?
His father says he's here at the hospital tonight after undergoing his first emergency surgery. He's heavily sedated after the boy was shot 3 times, once in the head, while waiting for the school bus this morning. Jesus Riga is supposed to be just months away from graduating high school. That's where both he and his younger brother were trying to go this morning.
We were out here waiting for the bus. Apparently 3 assailants came from that corner over there.
And as those 3 men got close to the dad and his sons, repeatedly yelling, asking if they were in a gang, Philip Riga says,
"Oh, these are hombritos, man."
Yeah, I know that area they're in back of the yards. They don't fucking play around there, bro.
Okay, so what did the special need kid? Was he just caught in crossfire?
No, they asked. Did you hear? They ran up on them asking them were they in a gang.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh! Do he look like he could answer that? Look at him.
Yeah, man, these hombritos, man.
Evil.
Don't play that, man.
Graduating high school. That's where both he and his younger brother were trying to go this morning.
We were out here waiting for the bus. Apparently 3 assailants came from that corner over there.
And as those 3 men got close to the dad and his sons, repeatedly yelling, asking if they were in a gang, Philip Riga says he got silently protective.
All I do was grab my phone out of my pocket and call 911. And that's when they started shooting.
Police say a single gunman in the group of 3 let off.
Okay, Rambo. What should he have done, Rambo?
Pull a gun, shoot them.
Yeah, of course.
That's when they started shooting.
Police say a single gunman in the group of 3 let off nearly 40 rounds. It was too many.
You ready to go toe to toe with a killer that's going to shoot 40 rounds in broad daylight, Muncie?
Yeah.
I feel
yeah. I have to. What's the alternative? Get attacked, get crippled, get beaten,
I feel you. But you just got to do it. You gotta do it.
I made up my mind on that a long time ago.
Okay, great, man.
Police say
So
a
what if they
single
start
gunman in a
shooting you
group of
once they
three.
see? I'm sorry.
Good.
I'm gonna say you carry your gun in your holster, right? What
Yeah.
if they seen it and just start blasting?
They better hit me.
Oh, they will.
Just
Well,
something.
that's all. Like I said, they
They
better hit me.
fired 40 shots and hit 3.
You might get hit in the shoulder or something.
Let me say, because I've been around that area before, and I've heard people going around that area. So there's it's a Hispanic gang. They're called the Saints. I'm gonna tell you right now, bro. They'll shoot at anyone.
Yeah.
It's that bad right there, bro. You could be passing through at night, you might get shot at. I would not go around if you're not from there, bro. If I've been driving at night, I avoid that area at all costs, especially going down that part.
Oh, they shoot at your car?
Man, they'll shoot at you at night. They don't give a fuck who it is. I mean, they'll just assume you may be someone that they're going against just passing through. That's how
It's
violent
scary.
motherfuckers are, bro.
It's crazy.
That's terrible.
Yeah, that's what they're not they're not sending us their best, man. And you saw what happened in California the other day. Executed 6 people.
You got to understand this.
Yeah.
There's so many, and I tell people that I just want to clear this up too, man. There's so many different gangs in the city that aren't very well known, bro. That is one of the reasons you have most of this shit. You got like 20 different families or gangs in the city, bro. Just different names and shit.
Wow.
And these guys have been here for years. I'm talking years already.
And you live there.
Nah, I don't live in this area. Fuck no. Oh shit. Fuck no. No. I got blessed. I don't live in this area, man. Especially that part of that area. Fuck no.
You live around a bunch of gliders.
I'm around a little bit of everybody, but still around a lot of Hispanics. I got a lot of Arabs around me too.
Let off nearly 40 rounds. It was too many for Philip to cover both of his sons, both of whom live with special needs. 3 bullets hit Jesus.
I was trying to tell him to get down, but he didn't understand at the time. And I tried to get to him.
Jesus Christ.
But you should have punched your child down.
God, almost he didn't understand. They rolled up on fucking 2 special needs kids and the father, and just started to spray 40 bullets at them for no reason.
They supposedly live there. I think this was ops from another neighborhood.
Why the daddy isn't crying?
Because if they were from this neighborhood, they'd know they wouldn't fuck with those special needs kids.
Probably didn't sink in yet.
You think so?
Maybe he's listen, man. This is a lot of these people have got a lot of same issues, man. I mean, this is why is he not flanked by a bunch of pastors and community leaders while he's standing here giving this interview?
Because they don't want to get shot.
A Hispanic community wouldn't put up with this from within its own.
This is a Hispanic community, bro.
So that whole area and that's why I think it was their ops.
Probably.
It was somebody looking for gang members from that community from outside.
I'm gonna be honest. It probably isn't those guys in the area. You're right, because bro, like I'm saying, that other part of 47th Street, if I'm right, it's like some Latin counts or whatever. And then not Latin counts. I don't know what it is. Some 2-6 soul whatever. I'm telling you, bro. There's so many of these motherfuckers and so much different shit. That's why everyone gets into it. Everyone thinks it's just. Yeah, there's a lot of other stuff that plays a role, but it's just so fucking different. It's so different.
Wow.
That's why
I tried to get to him as fast as I could. As soon as they stopped shooting, I ran to him and started holding the wound.
The Southwest Side neighborhood has been plagued by rising gun violence. Chicago police data shows that in 2022, there were 93 shootings and homicides in the new city community.
That's one neighborhood.
Oh my
How many shootings were in your neighborhood this year, Mayo?
In my entire city, I think it was 14.
How about you,
None in my
Mark,
neighborhood.
Mark, how many shootings were in your neighborhood this year?
This year, maybe one. Some far distance part of the city.
Wow.
You didn't ask me.
Well,
come on, Rush.
You live in.
It's 86% white.
How many? How many were in your area?
It's 86% white.
Side neighborhood has been plagued by rising gun violence. Chicago police data shows that in 2022, there were 93 shootings and homicides in the New City community area, which includes back of the yards. In 2021, it was about the same, but that's a 66% increase from 2019 when there were just 56 shootings and homicides. The alderman.
There were just 56 shootings in this one neighborhood in 2019. Boy, we had it good. We didn't know how good we had it.
Shootings and homicides. The alderman who represents the ward says constant gang warfare is terrorizing innocent residents like Jesus Riga.
We cannot protect or give cover to these individuals who did this because this young man deserves better.
Police say neither Philip Riga nor his two sons have any gang affiliation whatsoever. Investigators are now going through surveillance video and following up on tips they've already gotten from the community, trying to track down these three armed assailants.
All right, guys.
Data shows
and
that
on that note, man, salute the Dope Brigade, man. Thanks for everybody on the panel. Salute to everybody in the chat, man. See you tomorrow. Peace out.
Good night.
Take care, everybody. Keep your powder dry.
Good night.